Hello and welcome to Live from Beyond. Tonight we'll be running the Eclipse Phase module Million Year Echo. I'm Kevin. I'm going to be the GM tonight. This should be our third and final session. If you're the kind of person that likes to jump in the middle of things, then this is the place for you. If not, you can go back to our YouTube channel and look up the previous episodes. These here are my players. Players, why don't you introduce yourselves?
Hello, everybody. My name is Alex, and I'm currently playing Bastion, who is some sort of octopus species that's currently residing inside a crab that's looking forward to becoming a spaceship.
Wait, I thought you were like a door.
That was a possibility.
No, I'm Dora.
You gotta ambitions. Like, you gotta aim high, and then if you end up being a door, then so be it.
Alright. Well, anyways, my name is Kim. I'm playing Piccolo, the Jovian infiltrator, who is just a regular person, knows exactly what he is and what body he's supposed to be in.
I'm Aaron, and I'm playing Dora, who's a Ruster, which is a Martian-type humanoid. And I like looking around and discovering things, and doing it with my friends.
I'm Robin. I'm playing Uma. I am not currently with the rest of these people, but I'm a member of the Lost Generation, which means that I'm quirky. I'm special. And a little misunderstood.
All right, and I'm Nick, and I'm playing Octagon, a tall and lithe, leather-clad woman, Martian something, who's
A woman?
Yeah.
Oh, I knew that.
And
I didn't know that.
she was sort of on her own mission and stumbled into this motley crew. So we're gonna see what happens.
We can't hear you.
Muted.
We can't hear you.
Whatever.
GM fail.
All right. So, like I was saying, when last we left you guys, you were exploring the airship Hegira above the Martian city of Querain, inside the Titan quarantine zone. Very dangerous place. Totally infected with terrible, murderous robots and nanoswarms and other horrible things. As you're exploring the Hegira, you found a couple things. One surveillance video that I think a bunch of you found a little bit interesting. One person who maybe seemed a little bit sketch, Octagon here, who was on a mission.
You found interesting.
Very sketch.
And then shortly after that, you guys heard the windstorm picking up outside and the mooring cables tying this airship to the city, to the mooring dock outside the city, breaking, and the ship starting to blow away. So let's begin there. As so you guys had just finished exploring, I believe, a room that was labeled Dawood's room,
Which had some graffiti.
Yep, it did. Yeah, there's a little bit of noise. Okay.
Like a bag of chips or something.
I think it's typing, but anyway, go on.
It makes me want chips, but I'm not actually eating them yet.
There's
Okay.
bread though. There's bread if you want it.
All right, so you hear these mooring cables snapping. Just before you also hear the airlock, the klaxon for the airlock, go off. Let me get some
Klaxon.
Klaxon. Nope.
Chilling out,
the klaxon.
relaxing, all cool.
I know that Klaxon.
What are we waiting for?
We're waiting to be properly by the Klaxons.
All right, so you hear the cables strain and break as the klaxon of the airlock goes off, and the ship suddenly sort of like jolts to one side as the second cable strains and then breaks. You can feel the ship rocking back and forth. Why don't you guys make free fall tests to see if you can handle this very, very large tilting of the ship, stay on your feet, whatnot.
But if we don't want to,
then I guess you can flop around like a fish and probably take some damage.
Oh, I'm okay.
God. Damn
Then
it!
am I?
Is freefall a specific skill that you actually have?
Yeah. It's
Freefall is a skill. I believe it's reflex based. What's the
I
question?
pretty much almost not fail.
All right, so we got a 46 from Bastion. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
right?
That's 1 over your skill of 45, so that'll be a fail.
I
Piccolo, you got a
barely failed.
13.
Do I?
So how do you do it if you don't have the skill?
So I believe it's reflex time. So if you don't have a skill, usually
reflex.
you do, yeah,
It is
you do the stat, which is reflex. So you try to roll under your reflex, which is probably somewhere between 10 and 20.
Oh yeah, that's really bad.
I can't.
That doesn't make any sense. Stupid.
Sorry, where's
morph.
reflex? Am I crazy?
It's
Oh,
at the
it
top. It's going to say
I got it.
orient,
I got it. I was
think.
looking at a stupid thing. But am I rolling this? I'm not.
Yeah.
Standing next to them. Okay.
You should go ahead and roll it.
That didn't work at all.
What's your skill, Octagon?
15.
Okay, yeah, no, good. And Uma?
So my reflex is 10. So I was.
Oh.
Does that mean that I was? No, but
Close.
isn't it twice? Isn't it twice the amount? Didn't you just
No, it just. I think it's just a regular untrained.
Oh. I thought
But
you
you
said
got a
twice.
double, so that means
say
you
that? So I
are.
fail really hard.
Yeah, you critically fail actually.
Great.
Okay.
Fell straight
Um,
off the ship.
Well, I'm not next to them.
You don't know that.
So no one will be there to help you when you fall and hit your head.
You were so
How do you
close.
feel?
The
how do you
airlock
feel about
goes.
my-
No one.
How do you feel
knows
about
what happens.
my free running skill? What if I do like you know how the Olympians do when they
He's
jump?
doing
and I like,
parkour.
I like
Yeah.
Like what if I'm like scissor running in the air as I
We're all trying to hold on, and he's like jumping off of
According-
things and yelling.
according to your
parkour.
role,
Yeah,
you do it.
exactly.
You
How do
do
you
it
feel about that?
badly.
Hardcore.
Okay, so so everybody that failed, you're gonna take some. I actually don't want to keep strict check of hit points right now. But so you fall. You're sort of like splayed across the corridor as the ship goes up to like a 45-degree angle and then quickly flips back the other way. You're all gonna take. Just keep the number 10 in mind. 10 damage value. We can start to value or hold those against morphs if it becomes important later on, but I don't think it will right now. So the ship starts to level out, but you can feel the ship is definitely drifting and not like under some sort of powered flight. And some of you are sort of like splayed across the corridor. What are you guys trying to do? What are each of you trying to do? Uma will get to you in a moment.
Well, we were like about to go out and like do a search of the ship, right?
We had started it. We were in one of the rooms on our
Yeah,
If I
way.
remember correctly. I guess at this point we should really try to get back to the control room and try to gain some kind of control of the ship before, I don't know, it crashes into some Martian mountain or something like that. Some other nasty thing drifting around the TQZ.
Yeah. If the question is, do we want to all go to the piloting area, or do we want to split into 2 groups of 2 and send a couple to check out the airlock?
Are you suggesting we split the party?
Yeah.
I mean, that might be necessary. Who's better at... Does anybody know how to pilot like a...
I'm
Craft
probably
like
our
this.
best bet
Great question.
for piloting
I can-
because we need to interface with this thing and get through the defense critter that we've run into a couple of times.
Well, I'm good at piloting ground craft, which it seems like this thing might soon be. But meanwhile,
I think once that
guess-
happens, we're in trouble.
I guess
we won't
Dora
be
is
the
probably
pilot
the best
anymore
bet.
once this becomes
can
a ground
pilot-
craft.
Aircraft and interface. So.
Okay, then why don't we have you and me go to the piloting, and we'll send Octagon and Piccolo over to check out the airlock.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay, so let's do the bridge first. So who was going on the bridge? It was Dora and Bastion.
Bastion.
Okay, cool. All right, so so you guys make your way over to the ship, or over to the bridge. As you're approaching, you hear someone climbing up the airlock ladder.
Alright.
So
Pull out
presumably
the-
we're
Which
all
is door
together then?
just to the side. Yeah, we can. Yeah,
Pull
let's,
my
let's-
weapon.
Yeah, I mean, all of us must be together because the other two were going to the airlock. So
Oh, right. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, so it's. Sorry, I thought you were gonna go a different direction. Yeah, so. Right, so the bridge is right next to the airlock door. The airlock door you can see is at 2, and the bridge is at 1. So they're sort of right next.
okay, so then we'll all just go over there and check out the
ladder.
airlock door.
Okay. So are you guys gonna open it? Like this is the door from the. This is like the hatch from the airlock. The airlock is down the ladder.
Is it? Can we see inside of it?
Is there any kind of like security system or camera or view screen or anything to make sure that it's not like crazy face mask?
Yeah. How about windows like on DS9?
Well. So
is
now
it
that you
called?
mention it, actually,
Zone
guys, you
stalkers?
notice that the area around the face mask where Kim was touched, you can see there's sort of a texture slowly starting to like spread outward from those areas. It's almost
I
like
think I may have missed this. Where Kim was touched.
yeah. So there was a moment where we were fighting those creatures with the white masks earlier, and one of them tried to force a similar mask onto Piccolo's face, and it has left a mark. That mark is starting to spread outward around your face.
I feel
Not
How
Yeah.
noticeable is it, Kevin?
it's like red and irritated. It's sort of noticeable.
Alright.
So yeah. And is there a camera? Yeah, there's a camera. There's an interface for it.
Well, let's interface with it.
No,
Let's
yeah, I
see what
mean,
we can
sorry.
see.
Yeah, you don't need to roll interfacing. You can turn it on real quick, and you can see Uma climbing up the ladder from the airlock. Blood sort of
I
like.
don't think ladder. I think I'm like swinging on the very end of the rope, like
Oh, the rope
shaking my
outside the
cursing up a
the walking
storm.
cable. All right,
I'm,
sure.
I'm like
Leave it,
on
keep
the
going to the
mooring
bridge.
cable, very close to the top, and just like string of profanities coming out of my mouth.
Yeah, you can see there's like a wound on her forehead, and there's sort of like part of her hair is matted with blood. And you can see behind her the windstorm. Just you can't even see the ground. It's just howling winds and dust.
Good God, let's get her in here.
Yeah.
Well, that's all right. So you open up the airlock and get her inside. Uma, you climb up the ladder into this
Rope.
room that's labeled I guess 13 there. It's a circular room. Here, let's switch back to it. So you see Uma like climb up out of the hatch, dust shaking off of her, blood sort of like flowing down from her head wound. Uma,
You assholes left me behind.
You got like attacked by one of them faceplate things. We figured.
I've been like 20 feet behind you this whole time. I was like yelling and waving.
We
Took
could
the freaking
only-
gondola without me. Had to climb up the stupid cables.
None of that sounds
Like-
accurate. That sounds like revisionist history at best.
Like you guys are some agents, splitting the.
We
party.
could only listen. We could only save one person from being mask attacked, and Piccolo was chosen to be
Some
that
of us
person.
already regret that decision, and we may reverse it. We reserve the right to do that.
Well, I'm glad you regret it. I'm doing just fine without you. Got myself here. Bring me up to speed. Also, who's this guy?
girl, I guess.
Girl?
Girl. Who's this lady in leather?
Yeah, the lady in leather is Octagon. So we have retrieved her and have not had to reduce her to her stack yet. Bastion is coughing up smaller crabs, so we may still have to reduce him to his stack, or turn him into the ship, which is what I'm personally hoping for. There's some kind of shape-shifting death alien on this ship, and we're not attached to anything.
Well, Piccolo's also diseased or something.
Yeah, I noticed that when the mooring cable I
I
was
thought
on
we
came.
weren't talking about that. That's like real impolite to talk about right in front of him.
Come
Whatever.
on,
We'll
man.
just I can
And also,
install...
I didn't cough up some living like octopus like slime thing earlier. So, as far as people being diseased,
Listen,
Piccolo's
let
got a point.
Let me add the stack to you, Piccolo. We could make you a one of us.
no. Yeah. Then we can all cough
gonna
up little like
die.
octopus things.
You're gonna die. It
Thanks,
was a
but
little
no
crab
thanks.
thing. You racist.
It's all the same to me. Anyways,
Well, I think
Well,
we should
that all sounds
go
very exciting.
take control of the ship now that we've got Uma up to speed,
Yeah, why
and
not?
then we can send out some search parties to try to track down the object, which we think is Idris.
You think it's what?
Idris Elba. He's hiding on the ship somewhere. We have to find him.
Trigger, no.
There's a program that was kind of a security-like system when we came onto the ship that was calling itself Idris. Did it have a number associated with it? Kev? No, just Idris?
Yeah, it was just Idris.
Okay, calling itself Idris.
Well, so you saw it implanted. It looked like it was implanted in other programs. Like I think the access console on the ship, the airlock,
Yeah.
like had something messed up about it, and then like the name of the program was like Idris Access Point, V113 or something like that.
Okay,
and
there we
you
go, 113.
saw another instance of it. I believe
the cleaning robot that I picked
the
up.
cleaning robot. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so a bunch of the stuff on the ship seems to be Idrisized. Octagon said that Idris was something that she had been dealing with whenever she went from, like, room to room and dealt with the doors and being stealthy and things like that. So, anyway, so we need to find out. We think that for some reason that was what the good doctor brought back from the parallel dimension.
And Octagon, you were here the whole time, but what information have you managed to collect?
I mean, it was pretty hard for me to get a lot of information on the ship while I was trying to give all these Exsurgent guys the slip. But I did.
Okay, so you
Go on.
So you don't know anything more than us.
I mean, I've been on the tail of the doctor for some time, following her from crime to crime, but I haven't been able yet to actually get a hold of her stack. So that's why I didn't report back.
Okay. Great. Moving on. Cool. So where are we going now?
I think we should go in this door directly to our right and try to make Bastion one with the ship.
Okay, yeah.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
Uma, you can see the.
Can I just, like, as we're walking out, can I be like, oh, Octagon, you've, like, got something, like, some dust on your face or something, and, like, brush it off?
Yeah, sure.
Great, I'm gonna do that.
Okay. Yeah, you can roll for that.
Octagon's
that
really
Turn off your
uncomfortable.
octagon.
Octagon's really uncomfortable about being touched. But
You get used to it.
You've been, like, hiding on the ship. There's, like, grime in your hair. I'm just, like, brushing crap.
sure.
You're in leather. You clearly care about your appearance.
Truth.
And what's your skill?
I doubt that'll be the last bit of dirt
I
on my
don't know.
face as we climb through this heinous place.
Oh, not again. It's beginning.
It had already begun. That's why I've won.
I'm gonna shoot you into the sun
Okay.
from
That'll
my
be fun.
gigantic sun gun.
So Octagon, as Uma tries to brush the dust off of your face, all of a sudden you can feel your mind is like invaded by something, and it's invasive, it's intrusive, it starts rummaging through your thoughts in a very unpleasant way, and after a moment, I think it's probably done.
I
Is this
believe
something
it's
I would like recognize, or
I don't think so.
Sense is 60.
Okay.
So I would have no concept of what had just happened to me, basically.
Basically, other than something just rummaged through your brain.
I mean, I'm gonna like report it to my companions as a.
What do you say?
I'm too flabbergasted by what just happened to
Okay, so what do you do? I mean, like give us paint us a picture here.
paint you a picture. What do we roll?
Everybody
playing?
imagine Octagon being flabbergasted.
All right.
I can't do it.
We're just like walking down the corridor when this happens.
Yeah.
I like brush the stuff off your hair, and then I like continued on through the door. I'm like walking ahead of you.
All right. I mean, Octagon like cries out in surprise, and says, "There's something in my mind."
Is that an unusual experience for you?
I'm not sure that I really appreciate your joke.
What are
When
you talking about, Octagon?
All right. Well, I thought that was just dust, but did everybody like? Are we sure he's not infected with something? Like,
Are we sure that anyone on this ship is not infected with something? You appeared from nowhere clinging onto a thing.
Yeah.
This guy's got stuff on his face. The other guy's coughing up small octopods or something.
I'm not sure that I trust you to be free from danger, because to me you're basically a stranger. And though I saw you flying from that rope, that's a little bit too much of a cliched trope for you to join us and appear from nowhere.
yeah.
And
Well,
now
if my
you come to touch my hair. So I'm not really sure what's going on.
Hey, look, Octagon, you're the one who's been out here in the TQZ for a couple of weeks. Who knows what you're infected with?
Fair enough, but I didn't ask for you to come and assault me. I'm here on a mission.
Yeah, and if you had
I
completed
don't
that
need to-
mission, we wouldn't be out here.
Well, it's just me against a dangerous insurgent.
Mm.
If you'd care to separate again, I'm sure I could beat you to the
So
prize.
just excuses
all
with
right,
you,
this
isn't
is
it,
this is
Octagon?
ridiculous, and it's gonna get us nowhere. We'll continue on. We all are just gonna have to trust each other for now in order to get anything accomplished. But
Well,
let's just
Fat
move on.
chance.
While we're walking, I turned to Octagon. I was like, Octagon, just for our safety, would you consent if I do a quick medical check on you? If I look you over real quick?
Surely, are you a doctor?
Yeah.
Or are you like
He's
Vic?
a veterinarian.
Vic.
Like, you know.
As much a doctor as an octopus in a
I
crab's
have-
body
I have
can ever
these-
be.
Are
I have
any of
these
you
grenades.
a doctor?
Aaron,
I have
that's
these-
racist.
Or a
An
better
octopus
doctor
in a
than
crab
him?
body can be anything it wants to be.
Have you seen Futurama?
Well,
Yeah,
so
Right on Bastion.
He was whatever he wanted to be. I mean, is anybody actually a doctor? Because that
Yeah,
was really what I was going to be looking for next.
well, that's what I'm asking.
Yeah. Yes,
Do you want-
I will consent to your exam.
I take out like a little flashlight and some medical tools.
But I'm going to describe to you the sensations that our GM just illuminated, so that
Go for it.
you can tell me if you know. I mean, I'm going to tell you, like, it felt like there was someone else in my mind, like not just my own thoughts. And I need you to tell me if that's like a thing. Doc.
All right. All right.
Be like, nah.
I fail. So, I'm like,
seem
you
fine.
know, so I end up telling, I tell Octagon, this could be signs of mental stress, Octagon.
He has
That's
been out
okay,
here in
Octagon.
TQZ
It was
for a
very
long
It's
time.
been a stressful day for you.
Day.
It's been hiding on a ship for some time.
Weeks,
With a
months.
Yeah, I'm not sure how long I've been hiding on this ship.
Odo monster.
Anybody want to chime in with how long I've been on this ship?
I felt like
At
it
least
was
a
a
couple of
days.
weeks, right?
couple days.
So your exam, Bastion. So what are you doing? You're sort of like
I like check his pupils and like,
They're there.
like, I like.
He said
check his
something
pupils, I
rummaged
like-
through his mind, right? It's probably some kind of invasive program.
Right, but like, is that a thing? That's what I'm asking.
Well-
Like, somebody here who's knowledgeable.
I like
Okay,
opening
so
his
just-
mouth to make
just
sure there's
as,
nothing
like-
in his throat holding him, like any what are they called, like parasites living inside of him, anything along that line, I like.
That's not what I'm worried about, Doc.
okay, yeah. So I mean, he opens up your mouth. He's got a light. He's looking in there, pokes around a little bit. Checks under your fingernails. Asks you to stand on one foot and cough. All that.
I say this is what happens when you put a plug to your mind in the back of your neck, like some kind of idiot. Next thing you know, some crazy virus comes and rummages through your brain.
Says the guy with geometry spreading all over his face.
This is
It's
what
like
I'm trying
a
to understand.
slight
Is
rash.
what Piccolo's suggesting possible? Dora, you're a computer expert.
Yes, of course it's possible. Now, you're not plugged into anything at the moment, which makes it significantly less likely, but not impossible by any stretch of the imagination. There's a mesh on this ship, so yeah, sure, it could happen.
I also want to
Right,
check
but
the
could
stack.
that be?
You want to check your stack?
Yeah, to make sure it's not no crazy
Octagon,
stuff
assuming you
going
have
on.
your stack is probably direct interface only. If you want to have Bastion check it out, you're just going
What
to
does
have to
that
plug
mean?
into it.
No, I want to make sure there's nothing
Plug into it.
growing on anything.
Oh no, it looks totally fine.
Okay.
If you want to do a diagnostic on it, you would have to plug it to it.
And what does that require?
Nothing.
Well, I mean, you have to
Requires
plug
my
in.
permission.
He has
I don't
to-
want to.
yeah.
I don't want to plug
You have to
into.
give consent.
Listen, if Octagon is any sort of funny, I don't want to plug into him. So I do not do that.
Yeah, come right on in.
Octagon, the good old Trojan horse.
So just to answer your question in maybe general terms, Octagon, you don't know of anything that should just for no reason rummage through your mind. That is not a thing. That's not oh hey, I went to the supermarket today and the cashier rummaged through my
But
mind.
so even more, I'm not sure if it's more general or specific. I'm wondering if anybody here would know that kind of thing. If
That would-
my computer experts and doctors and stuff would know what would
If that's
cause something
possible?
like that. No, what would cause that kind of thing that isn't the super unlikely stuff. Why would someone experience that sensation?
So I have security systems. Is there a way to he said he probably has his mesh turned off at least, so he doesn't
Right.
get
And-
infected
okay,
by some
so-
kind of crazy TQZ
Right.
bizarro virus. But is there a way that those kind of
Okay.
things
Right,
could
so-
be overwritten?
So here's the long and short answer. The Exsurgent virus has many different vectors, many different vectors. Right? It can be a physical, airborne, biological virus. It can be a computer virus. It can be a mimetic virus. Right? You can read a book and then be infected with the Exsurgent virus.
Nice.
Octagon, as far as you know, probably doesn't have a cyber brain. So he is probably not very vulnerable to a programmatic attack, right? Through some sort of wireless system. His mesh through his inserts, it's possible, but the vector would have to be a little bit more complex than it usually is. As far as direct brain interface from wirelessly, that doesn't sound like anything that you have heard of in your time with Firewall. But like I said, it's the Exsurgent virus. It mutates. It does weird things. It's hyper advanced. So its limits are basically not something that you are beyond your.
So if I was, let's say, to
Understand.
whatever interface with Octagon's stack,
Sure.
I would pretty much have absolutely no defense, right? As far as I know.
If there was something
would I be
there,
able to
I guess.
if there was something there, I wouldn't be able to stop it at all.
Okay, so I mean, here's how it goes. Again, neither of you guys have, or Bastion, you do have a cyber brain,
I do.
so you would be more vulnerable. Yes, if there's some sort of Exsurgent virus
Get
sort
away
of
from it.
riding in his mesh inserts,
Right.
then your cyber brain would be much more vulnerable to that, right? Because that doesn't require a crossing of vectors, right? If it's a biological disease, it's more difficult for it to pass from a directly biological disease into a computer virus, right? It's not impossible given the nature of the Exsurgent virus, but going from his mesh inserts into your brain, because they're both technological, would be not a jump. You'd be much more vulnerable to that.
Okay, so I don't want to do that.
I mean, if you have firewall programs, you might be
I do.
less likely.
Oh yeah. Well, but you said it's on a whole other level, though, right?
Yeah, exactly. Right. The Exsurgent virus is some next level shit after the next level. It's hyper advanced. It's far more advanced than anything human technology is capable of producing right now. So it's basically a wild card.
Well, maybe
Someone
if,
cut the brakes.
if Octagon starts going crazy, then we'll do it. Otherwise, I don't see any need for
Okay.
for this at the moment.
All right. So so you guys step into the bridge. You can hear a beeping coming from the buoyancy console. Like it sounds very worried.
And there's also an actual navigation console, right?
Yes, but the navigation console is hardwire only.
Okay, but the buoyancy console is not. We can just work with that.
What does hardwire only mean?
You have to
It means
plug
you have to
into it.
plug yourself into it to interface. It's
I've
got no
always wanted
mesh.
to be-
It's,
I've always wanted to be a ship.
Yeah, that's. I mean, I think basically, if you're the one who can pilot, we
I have a
probably
cyber
need.
brain, so
We probably need to have you
Does the
plug
ship-
in. Any of us can plug in.
Does the ship have a cyber brain? It's possible that this whole like idea of transferring Bastion to the ship is kind of a fool's errand.
it would take some work. It would take some work. It's not
I'm
impossible.
willing to do the work.
Well, I don't necessarily need to transfer into it, but like I don't mind like plugging into.
Oh, well, actually, no, it wouldn't actually be. Okay, so the problem is that Bastion.
Aaron
so
has like a
Bastion
secret
has a-
agenda to turn me into a
Again,
ship.
Bastion is a cyber brain. If you were to remove it and you could set up interfaces with the ship, Bastion, you would be. So it wouldn't be pleasant because basically you would be a brain in a jar with like only like video feeds and like the ability to like press buttons. Like your entire world would be like a panel.
Like when you sit in front of your computer most
Right.
of the time.
You wouldn't be able to like feel the skin of the ship or anything or move it like your arms. You'd just be like selecting options like move rudders up, like look at this camera. It's doable, but it's not how you'd want to live your life probably.
Well, presumably, we're not going to like leave him there for the rest
Yeah, I
of
was gonna
eternity.
say,
It's like the hopefully 20 hours or whatever it takes to get us out of this.
That
hellhole of
assumes
sand.
we survive long enough to like.
If we don't, who the hell cares? You don't want to
Well,
go out
so-
of the ship.
Okay, right, but
Bastion
another
doesn't care. You just take a stack at the end.
Well,
another,
if,
another concern that you might notice is that if you were to try to fly the ship out of the TQZ, you would probably be intercepted and destroyed very quickly. Like the outside of the TQZ is heavily guarded.
It is a
So
quarantine
how are we
zone.
going to get out in the first place?
Well, we're not here for the ship.
No, I understand. How are we going to get out in the first place? Like they won't intercept and destroy the buggies.
The buggies had clearance.
Well,
So
can't we just
need to get clearance.
radio as on our way back? Like, hey, it's us. It's cool.
It might be a little tougher if they detect all the crazy shit that's going on with the ship. A little hesitant to just let it like float out of the quarantine zone with.
Well, so we just fly this to the very edge of the TQZ, smash it, and grab Bastion's stack, and
that's a
walk
good
across
idea.
the line.
We just have to smash it, like, after we get my stack out.
Sure. Okay. So, anyways, so
Yay.
yeah, this buoyancy console is beeping rather insistently. Does anybody have any piloting? Bastion, I think.
Bastion has airship piloting. I have space piloting, and I think some people have ground piloting.
I have both pilotings.
Okay. Well, you can see that the ship's elevation is becoming dangerously low.
Okay, I'm just gonna assist.
Wait, we needed
Dora
piloting to
with
see that?
everything.
I'm just looking out the window. I'm like, there's the ground.
Well, I'll be
Okay.
right
Well, we
back.
also need dust
sandstorm.
storm.
Well,
Yeah.
obviously, yeah. Let's just get the ship stabilized, and then we can figure out where we're going to go after that.
Okay. So I'll need a. Well, you can do this. You can do this when you get back, Bastion. But I'm going to need a piloting check from you. So Bastion, I guess, like goes to work on this buoyancy console.
But he's plugging himself in, or he's not.
No, the
This is
buoyancy
just-
console
The buoyancy
doesn't
console
have
has
to be.
a AR interface.
Okay, this is just him actually piloting,
Mhm,
trying to.
Well, he's not piloting it. We're just trying to stabilize it so it doesn't crash into the ground.
Yep.
We can't actually pilot it without plugging into the whole into the ship, and that might have dangerous and unpredictable consequences.
The consequences
Actually,
could be dire.
But I mean,
Uh,
if we're just gonna put one in the back of Bastion's head, anyways,
Well, so there's a little bit of a difference, right? Because
Even a stack.
if his stack gets corrupted through like the exogen virus, that means like crush it, he's done.
Yeah,
Can
but
he,
I mean,
like,
he's got a
can he,
backup
like,
back
copy it
home, right?
first or
Like,
something?
worst
No,
case,
he has a backup,
loses
yeah.
a couple of weeks.
Right. Okay, so what are the rest of you guys doing while Bastion is pulling the ship up?
Dora's being weird. That's what Dora's doing.
Wait, you can't read that?
I want to ask. I have no idea what this is.
So, I mean, I was gonna help Bastion with getting him, even if we're not like making him the ship, getting him plugged into the nav console so that he can try to stabilize us.
All right.
Well,
Well,
so I don't think he's actually plugging into the nav console. He's just going to use the AR controls on the buoyancy console.
but so why don't
Okay.
we,
Hey,
while you guys make sure that we don't all crash to our untimely deaths, in case we don't have all the time in the world, Uma, Octagon, or why don't we go see if we
We're gonna
can't
keep
find a
searching
good
the
doctor? Because we might need to just get that stack and get off this thing if it's not going to last.
All right, then why don't you leave me and Bastion here? We're the programmers and the pilot. We can do the most good here, and the rest of you can get going.
Yep, that's fine.
Yeah, is there any way to like safeguard you in here, like lock you in, so that
No, we already
Ship
physically
shifter
cut a hole in the. We already physically cut a hole in the door.
Yeah, that ship has kind of sailed.
Yeah. Yeah,
Like,
you
it's
can
crashing.
see the door to the bridge has been like actually cut with thermite.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
like blew a thermite hole in it, so
right?
So,
Ugh.
Kev,
God.
I have tactical network software. Can we use that so that we're all in touch during this?
Yeah, definitely. And it'll give you each other relative positions. And
Nice little mini map.
if you want,
yeah, I want to come with you to come
vitals
look
and
for
stuff.
the doctor.
Yeah, vitals and all that would be good.
if you have I forget
Oh,
the-
Bastion, they all flatlined. Oh,
if you have weapons, it'll also give downrange trajectories and
nice.
all kinds of stuff.
All right. Well, let's move out, troops.
all right. I guess the three of us continue the search.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where's that?
I'm
Well,
alive.
I don't know if the map matters that much, but we're gonna go out and keep going like room to room.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
we're
Why don't you
walking out.
give a roll for that, Uma?
Okay.
All right, so
What is that?
Bastion, you and Dora are in the bridge. Everybody else is left to go re-explore or to go continue exploring the ship. Why don't you give me a piloting roll?
Oh, that was it. I just rolled it.
Oh, and what's your skill?
Roll it? Do I get any bonus from Dora? Because otherwise I fail. Very
Dora, do you
close.
have any skill?
In piloting which thing? I have skill in pilot spacecraft.
Sure, that's fine. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you can get a +10, Bastion.
Then I'm exactly on the number.
Okay, great. All right, yeah. So
Critical
you're
success.
able to figure out the ship. So it turns out the ship has ballast. Actually, it's got water tanks to weigh it down, and it collects water from the atmosphere to lower itself, and it ejects water to go up. So all you need to do is eject a little bit of water, and the ship starts to rise again.
Yeah, I'll do that.
You are, however, aware that the ship is not under powered flight. It is drifting basically sideways, and you cannot tell if there are any obstacles. You don't know how far you are from the edge of the TQZ. Again, if you were to reach the edge of the TQZ and be blown out of it, you could very much expect to be destroyed, basically on sight. Okay, so
Cool.
what else do you want to be doing, Bastion and Dora?
Which are the panels that we can't hook into yet?
Why can't we hook into them?
Piloting and nav, surveillance.
Wait, why?
uh,
Why can't we hook into these?
Well, we can physically, but you can't like access them otherwise.
I don't mind hooking in physically. Look, it's not my brain transfer, right?
no, yeah, you would be hooking yourself into the ship to operate these consoles.
But then I can. Would I know then like the distance from the end of the DQZ and stuff?
Oh, there's a map console, yeah.
Is that
And
hard to do?
That's all we'd have to get into.
Yep.
All right. I can try to do that.
Go for it.
All right. So what do we need?
Okay, so
I have firewalls.
Who's plugging
I'm trying
into who's plugging
we-
in?
I am.
Are we plugging Vastine into the ship, or are we?
We're plugging Dora.
Well, I mean, we're not turning anyone into the ship. We're just trying to plug into some of the consoles to get some of the information out of them.
Okay, but you're doing that now.
But I am doing that. I'm the hacker extraordinaire, maybe. Or I'll be a meat bag shortly. Either of the.
Okay. So give me the interfacing check.
All right. Oh,
Okay. So you plug in, and instantly you are aware that this is map software Idris version 7575. You, instead of seeing a map of anything that would be useful, see a map of the solar system, as well as several markers in the space between Mars and Jupiter, noting that they would be perfect sites for habitation.
does it say what kind of habitation? Human habitation?
No, it just says habitation.
Okay.
Do they
Is there any way
correspond
to
like open
interact?
space?
Yeah, you can interact.
All right, I will try to interact with, I guess.
So what are you
program.
trying to accomplish? What I mean,
Well, I want to try to like interact with Idris,
okay.
find out more about it.
I feel like that's a
Okay.
mistake.
Is
You're gonna be a virus, dude.
alright.
Okay. So why don't you run? Okay, so
is Idris the jelly or no?
What?
she asked if Idris is the jelly.
The jelly guy.
Oh, the shapeshifter. We have no idea.
Okay.
Okay.
So you attempt to interact, and you get a warning instantly that says infection threat. Please accept inoculation, and you have like an option.
I say no.
Okay. So
Oh, boy.
the display sort of just returns to this map of the solar system.
Okay. What are the other consoles that require plugging in to interact with?
Ooh, so there was surveillance.
All right, let's give
Um,
surveillance a go. It's just the live feed that's locked down, right?
Mm-hmm. That's right.
All right, let's try to lock into that.
Okay, so you plug in again. So okay, what you see is a live feed. Are you trying to plug into the live feed, or you're not?
Yeah.
Okay, you see a live feed. It's hard to understand because it doesn't. You're not really sure if it's sideways or upside down, but you see vertical lines. They're like long pink vertical lines in some sort of arrangement, and they seem to have some depth to them. It seems like it's an actual picture, and you can see them vibrating very, very slightly.
Can I query the computer on where this is?
It says cargo bay.
Okay. So there's something interesting going on in the cargo bay. All right.
Why don't you roll infosec?
Is this a defensive or
This is
a
defensive,
offensive? Defensive. All right. Do I get any kind of bonus for firewall software?
Yeah, you take a plus 15.
Okay.
It's just regular firewall.
Yeah. Firewall software.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm okay.
Okay. So you feel something rail against you as you enter that that node of the system. Something it attempts to invade your systems, and your firewall buffers like fill up immediately, but you're able to pull out the plug, and you think you're fine. Your firewall begins running like diagnostics, and they're coming up clean. But again, exsurgent virus, you don't know.
Okay.
Coming up clean could mean nothing. Okay, so Piccolo and Uma and Octagon, you guys are sort of walking walking down the corridor towards, I guess, where do we want to be going? Towards the back there, 5, 6.
Yeah, I guess we're just checking
Yeah, that's fine.
each of the cabins first as we go.
Right. So you had looked through most of the cabins. You passed the one called labeled Dawood. It's strewn with empty food packets, and it had like all this graffiti on the walls. And past it, you can see the entrance to the med bay. Around the med bay door, you see there's also graffiti on the walls. There's like arrows pointing towards the door, and there's writing in Arabic. And if which of you have maybe like your AR displays turned on? I don't know if Piccolo, you probably don't unless you have AR goggles.
What?
I have.
What is that?
A bunch of people probably do because there was AR stuff
Yeah,
in the
exactly.
room
We were
with
looking
the.
at
Right.
it.
So AR is like augmented reality. It's like if everybody has
Exactly.
cyber eyes and we can just overlay whatever we want on your cyber eyes, I can like write a message on the wall in AR and just make it so when you look at that wall, you'll also see the display.
I
I
got
have
it.
like specs. I don't know if that counts.
How do I tell?
Oh,
that?
specs works. What?
How do I tell?
What kind of
Ask
morph are you in?
yourself.
Futura.
Yeah, you definitely have it. So you
Yeah, I
can
mean-
see there's also several layers of AR graffiti, all like arrows pointing towards the door from like, in the AR display they're like literally just hanging in midair pointing towards the door, and there's just Arabic writing all around the area, like on the ceiling, on the floor, on the walls next to the door, on the walls up to the door.
So, who is our Arabic speaker?
Well,
I don't
we had
think we
somebody
had
who
one.
slightly understood
no, I
some
speak
characters.
native Marathi, Japanese, and Hindi.
Those of you with muses can have them translate without too much difficulty.
Oh, sweet. I'm gonna ask
Which
my
should be
muse.
everybody except Piccolo, basically.
I
I'm
assume
gonna
I
ask my
have
muse.
Yeah, I think you do, Uma. So your muse, I don't want to get too much into muses this session because I don't think we'll use them too much. But your muses basically come back and say that there are only 2 words in the graffiti, and they are sort of spread out in random intervals around the area. And the 2 words are fleshy and party.
I was really hoping those were going to be the 2 words.
Me too. That's so weird.
And it's
All right.
Kevin, can
pointing. It's pointing towards the med bay.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any way we can get a peek in there? Do
Can
we
I
have
have
control of
a-
any of the cameras or anything like that? Any of the surveillance?
This is this is a bit of a silly question, but does this graffiti remind us more of like warnings or invitations?
It's like a eat here like truck stop sign.
Got it.
Yeah, you can do that, Uma.
God, come on.
Wow, it's.
It looks like a failure on a bad one.
Yeah, it's going on here too, man. All right. Anyway,
Quick failure.
yeah. So,
you
what about Piccolo's request?
You see like a trail of blood begin to like run down Uma's nose.
Oh, come on.
Wow.
See,
Perhaps the doctor should check you out.
I'm
is
fine.
everything okay? What's happening?
Yes, I'm fine.
You're just walking around with blood dripping from your nose all of a sudden,
I
and
just-
you're fine.
Yeah, I'm fine. I have a
She gets
headache.
nosebleeds, all right? Jesus.
Look, you'll have to excuse us if we're a little on edge here.
Yeah.
So you
I'm-
can. Okay, sorry.
I'm attempting to tune in all of my senses and make sure that we don't walk into a trap.
That sounds like bullshit.
Well, it's not. I'm only trying to help.
All right. So are we
I mean,
walking into a
it doesn't.
trap?
I guess for Piccolo, it also sounds like bullshit, but not because he doesn't believe it. Because it's
Wait, which part?
It's some like fucking Futura bullshit, is what it is. I'll
Yeah,
just
are we
tune
walking
my
into a trap
senses.
there?
Look at
well,
me.
I can't determine anything anyway, so it doesn't really matter now.
Anyways,
I'll be fine.
I imagine. I think Dora, you're the one. Oh, you guys are back by the surveillance station.
I'm not even
so
with you guys.
We're all,
They're
we're all on the
you guys
fucking
are
like
in
thing, right? Like
Yeah,
we're all
yeah,
on
yeah.
comms together anyway, so it doesn't really matter where everybody is. But so, I say, anyway, you can see if any of the surveillance equipment in the med bay is still active.
Can I check that?
Sure, yeah, you can try to check that.
Okay.
Give me an interface check. This was the console, however, that you were just attacked at.
Okay. I have exploit software. I don't know if that would help.
Yeah, you can do that. Yeah, so you can do this. Just keep in mind your firewall is its buffers are still full.
How long will it take to fix that?
A while. They're going to take a while to clear out.
Like, we talking like 10 minutes or like 2
yeah,
hours or?
Like maybe like half an hour.
I presume there's not like a window in the medbay door that we can actually peek through.
No, there's not.
Yeah, I
Damn,
say
like, this whole time there was just a window.
I put
No
my
can
ear
do,
to the
guys.
door to see if I can like hear anything in there.
You lose an ear.
By the way, Bastion, you get a like tickling in the back of your throat.
Oh fuck, Aaron, put me into a ship.
I'm ready when you are.
Hold on, I'll let you know if I need it. Give me a sec. I'm right.
All right, yeah. So you hear Bastion go like there's some rasping of plates, and then all of a sudden there's a big crunch and like a drip of ichor like comes out of his mandible mouth.
Yeah, so I want to. I'm going to go up with
Oh,
Piccolo
That's
and
just
see if
not
we can
right.
like hear anything or. You
Through the
know,
door.
You're going to listen to the door?
like listen at the door
Yeah,
or the wall next
just to
to
see
it,
if-
see like lights coming from under it, anything that we would notice.
Kevin, I've got lots of enhanced hearing, smells, vision.
Okay.
Does
Sure.
that help with peeking through the door?
Okay, yeah. There's a strange smell in the area. You can't place it. What can you hear?
Hey guys,
Nothing
just so you know,
particular.
there's a strange smell. Don't know what it is. Really
So
trying
that's
to be
not just
helpful
the
here.
blood trickling out of your nose.
That would
Possibly.
be a weird smell.
Smell that?
Is the door
What else,
locked?
Kevin?
The door's not locked.
You have a don't open it.
Say,
Um,
Dora, any chance we're gonna peek inside before we look at it?
Was I
The
in
other
or
way?
near the med bay while I was on the ship for days?
Yeah, you were.
I was in it.
You were in it, but at some point you had to sort of. You noticed that some areas of the ship became were easier to hide in than others, and some areas you were too afraid to go into because you were afraid that this thing was just going to find you and dissolve your butt.
And the med bay was one of those I was too afraid to hide in.
Yeah. The med bay is sort of a little bit of a larger area, and you're not sure you could. It's a lot of
Open space.
passageways and not open spaces, but like it's connected to the other rooms in the ways that some of the crew quarters are not, and you could not like particularly watch your back.
Got it. Yeah. So I tell you that, Piccolo. I say, like, if you go in there, there's like too many directions something could come from, or like, you know, doors it could pop out of. It's not the safest place to go.
According to the map, it doesn't seem like it's anything other than a dead-end room.
Well, according to my memory, it connects to everything.
Well, so Octagon, you know that it has like vents and things, and
Yeah.
and like yeah.
It's like the bloodstream of the ship. You could just pop out at any organ, or doorway, or room, whatever. It's dangerous.
Well, I mean, I don't know if we can just kind of leave it be, can we? I guess we can wait a little while and see if Dora comes back on any of the video surveillance.
Well, right. We also
Keep
have
looking
tons
for,
of the ship to explore. I don't know
Dr.
if these signs are exactly what we want to follow at the moment. It's also a little bit doubtful to me that the Doctor will be in there.
By the way, Octagon, did you hear the crew talk about this fleshy party while you were on here?
I don't think there is really a crew. I mean, they haven't been around.
But there was,
Right?
you know.
There was a crew, and they've disappeared one by one.
Right, but at some point when I first got on here, was the full crew around?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh,
You were a stowaway, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I say. Well, it's a little bit hard to tell. I heard them speaking in a lot of Arabic, and I didn't really want to risk doing too much musing with my mesh or meshing with my muse or whatever on the ship. So I wasn't able to translate a lot of what I heard. But when I was in the medbay area, all I knew was I needed to get out quick because I couldn't watch my 6. So that's all I got to say about that.
Look,
Well,
I
it seems very
respect
dangerous. You should go in
staying away from meshing with your muse and stuff like that. I don't understand any of it either. It's disgusting.
All right, so what are you guys doing?
I say we move on to the next area while we wait for Dora to come up with some surveillance.
I'm
All
going
right,
to.
yeah, I guess we'll continue.
I'm going to volunteer to go in. If you guys would like to stand back, I can enter the room and see what's there.
I think Octagon is right, though. It doesn't make sense to not just wait for Dora to come back on the surveillance before we try it. There's plenty of ship left
Well, of course you would say that because you don't have any stack.
There's
or anything.
plenty of ship left to explore, so let's move on from this door.
Look, yes, you're all conveniently immortal, and if something comes out and crushes your mind, like, they'll just restore you and blah, blah, blah. But, quite frankly, we're here to do a mission, and if you all get eaten by some kind of bizarre monster, then it's going to make it significantly harder.
The arrows are here. This is the fleshy
This
party.
is where the fleshy party is.
Yeah. Well, if I remember
I
a
mean, you
briefing,
can go down there and try to go inside if you want.
it didn't mention attending the fleshy party. It mentioned finding the doctor, getting her stack, and getting the hell out of here.
I
Exactly.
think if they knew there was going to be a fleshy party, that would have been part of our orders.
Yes, but it wasn't.
To
so
strictly stay
let's
away?
move on
Kevin,
for now.
is there-
Listen, you want to save the party for the end anyway. You don't want to have to leave the party early to keep exploring the rest of the ship. So let's.
The exurgent virus like a biological thing?
Well, there's
It has-
an
it's-
exurgent dude on here, like a guy who
I don't think that's
embodies
a-
or is infected by the virus.
Right. So the exurgent virus is multi-vectored. There are strains of it that are biological, that are technological. There are strains that are mimetic, right? So they're just like
Yeah, I know. But like, I'm wondering. I'm trying to figure out from the video we saw, like, are we gonna be able to see this coming? Like, if I go into the room, okay, if I see a guy, then that guy could turn into Jello and attack me. But
You can just there's a chance you could just see him, and by seeing him, you can get infected.
that's
Like,
possible.
That's true.
That's like a thing that can happen.
It'd be
I
tough.
don't
So
think that's the case with this guy because of what you guys have relayed to me that you saw in the security video. He could have just, like he wouldn't have had to like attack her,
Lie on her for literally hours.
lie on top of her, and dissolve her if he
That
could
was
have
just like a fun thing.
done.
Yeah, that was
They just
that
did
was
that for
just 'cause
fun.
he
That was just
bored.
recreational.
That was just a
Um,
fleshy party.
Fleshy, fleshy, fleshy.
It sounds to me like this is a contact contamination, just from what we've seen. At least that one. I don't know if there's.
All right. Well,
other...
Octagon's gonna start like moving back down the hallway towards the next door to like go into.
okay, the next door is the exit of this module to the central module there.
So
7,
like
8, 9.
6. Oh, 7, 8. Oh, the 789 is the central module. You mean?
Mhm.
So we're going down the little hallway that connects them, basically.
Yeah, it's a
Sorry,
catwalk actually.
which one was the medbay? Which number?
6, I think.
Is 6?
Yeah. So
One
we're
of the
moving
last rooms in the.
We're moving west-ish to the catwalk that leads to the 789. And what are the 11s?
Well, you don't know.
Oh, okay.
Once you get outside, you might be able to tell. The catwalk doesn't seem to be covered. It's exposed to the interior of the ship.
Okay. Well, I want to go to the catwalk, and I beckon Dora and Uma to follow me.
Okay, yeah.
What?
Yeah, sure, go for it, Uma.
I wanna move pretty like I've got some
Well, wait, it's a 60. My thing.
Did you mean me?
no.
Or did you
he
mean
meant her.
Dora?
Yeah, hold on a tight for a sec.
He's got to explain stuff to our little nose miner here.
Little what? I'm just like standing at the door, like, wait, wiping the blood from my nose.
All right.
All right, we ready?
Yeah, I go.
All right, so having like traversed a lot of this ship before, I want to kind of cautiously, like I've probably been on the catwalk before.
Yeah, you've been out there.
Yeah, so
Oh,
I
okay.
know how to like walk down it, but I want to like go gun drawn kind of stealthily, that
Sure,
kind of thing,
yeah.
and see if these two are coming behind me.
Right. So part of what you've been doing is so as you open the door, you walk out into the exterior or the interior of the ship. Right. This is an airship, and all of these decks are within like the
Superstructure.
Right, of this blimp. So as you walk outside, you can see that one side of the ship is it's just being like pounded by dust and sand. You can see light streaming in through holes. There are small holes. It seems like they are getting smaller, but every few moments you see another one open up and a beam of light shoot through.
Okay, well, I'm gonna tell Dora and Bastion because I don't know if they need to like compensate for this as they're trying to steady the ship and stuff.
Yeah, I think the time is now. We're putting Bastion in the ship. Let's do it.
Okay. You're gonna have
Bastion.
to like pull out his cyber brain.
Are you prepared?
I don't need it.
Can you pull out your own cyberbrain? Because that seems a little gross to
I
me.
can, but once I do it, I'll stop it like as soon as it detaches, right?
All right. Well, I guess I can take over with that.
Okay.
All right,
It's like
so
an exercise in philosophy.
Yeah.
Can a crab remove?
Can
its
one
own
remove
brain?
one's own brain?
Once he stops thinking, he'll cease to be.
all right, yeah, go on.
Okay. So you can also access the outside of the modules from here, right? You could like there's a catwalk that leads to another door, but
access
were
them
you
way
so
better
inclined
from
and
that
able,
ship.
you could like climb up on top of the other module. And for the most part, they are sealed, but this is something that you're afraid of, right? The med bay was not like a sealed room like most of the crew quarters were. So it would have, if something were to like come along the outside of the module, it could come in to several places inside the med bay, or some of these other rooms. You
So
understand?
do
what I'm
we
saying?
want to try to get on top of the module and see if there's like a breach?
I guess you mean like the module that contains the bridge and the med bay and all that stuff. Yeah, sure, we could do that.
Which one do you want to try to get on top of?
I guess the one we just came from, to make sure that we didn't leave any stone unturned for our friends that are exposed back there.
Wait, so we're going on top because there's holes and something could have gotten in?
Well, they're like, what you said,
No,
like
because it's
there's vents and stuff like that. So there are ways to get into the med bay other than that door.
But we just didn't explore the med bay, so why would we want to?
right. But before we move on, we want to make sure that there's like nothing.
Well, if we're gonna eventually explore the med bay, we want to make sure that there isn't something. It doesn't hurt to be, thorough.
A little thorough. Yeah.
Bursting in there,
Yeah, I'm
ready
gonna
to
try
like
and
shake
climb up
whatever
on top of it.
monster's hand is a little rash.
Okay.
Okay, well, if something could get into the med bay, then couldn't it get out? So if we go climb onto the top of the module, then couldn't something come out of the med bay at us?
Sure, but like
I believe
it
there's
seems like
something-
more cautious than just opening the door. Like, what are you hoping to accomplish?
Anything's possible here, Uma, but I'm going to climb this module.
All right.
Okay. Every climbing roll.
Climbing roll, A. Do I have that?
For-
I
for
do.
shifting
Oh,
the-
nice. I got that.
We're super agent ever.
Got one of those. A.
Are you guys going to continue on, or
Man,
are you
I
going
could
to
have
wait
used
for
that
Octagon?
before.
No, I'll
right,
wait
so,
for I'll wait for Octagon.
We'll make this short and sweet. Octagon, you are able to climb on. You can see that several of the vents on the outside of the module have been broken open.
Like on
And-
the top of it, sort of?
Mm-hmm. And you
Okay.
also near the bridge you find sort of an avionics channel that leads to the bridge, and it seems like something has passed through it and destroyed a lot of the equipment along the way.
So that might account for the issues with the stabilization of the whole ship.
These maddening systems failures.
I mean, I imagine whatever he sees, he can patch through to Bastion and Dora. So.
Yeah. So Bastion, you can tell that the avionics equipment is all messed up. There's a channel that leads to the outside of the ship for avionics purposes, and something has used that channel to leave the bridge, and in the process, basically like busted up everything along the way.
Gotcha. Bastion, is there something I can hotwire back together real quick that would help you out?
Bastion, give me a hardware roll.
I mean, I also know quite a bit about hardware, so.
Sure, yeah, you can both roll. That's fine.
You
All
too,
right,
do.
electronics, aerospace, industrial, robotics. What do you want?
Aerospace.
Ooh, super fail.
God damn it, Bastion.
I'm like this. Nah.
Nothing can be done. It's completely fucked.
No.
Yep.
Okay,
Most
so
of our experts
that
don't
shit
think
is
there's anything that
busted.
should be done.
So
All right,
Bastion,
nice.
the only thing you can tell is you can sort of hardwire together it uplink to a GPS satellite you personally know. That would give you position.
Oh, will it tell us how close we are to the end of the TPZ?
You could probably figure it out once you had that.
Hmm. Yeah, we could. And how far away is the satellite?
Orbit
Is it,
distance.
is it
I don't know.
is it around Mars? No, I mean like.
Yeah, it's a Martian satellite.
A GPS satellite around Jupiter isn't really going to help us, is it now?
You guys are on
what
Mars.
the orbit is.
You know, that planet.
You guys are really far away.
Where is it?
So you want to do it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do
All right.
it.
So we'll not belabor this. You can get it set up. Bastion, you can sort of extrapolate how far you are. You are drifting through the TQZ east, and you imagine it will take somewhere between 45 minutes and an hour and a half for you to reach the edge of the TQZ.
All right. Well, we just gotta crash land this thing before that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Something like that. Alright. So, good job. Yes, you guys figure out a way to stop this thing, maybe. And meanwhile, let's continue our search. We gotta find the doctor. Is it Dora, any movement on the surveillance in the med bay?
Has my stat cleared? Or-
Yeah.
Oh,
You're
Chris?
firewall buffers. Okay.
All right, let me take another stab at the this what's it called surveillance and see whether I can see what's going on in the ship.
Okay. Yeah.
Sure.
Give me an interfacing check.
Okay.
But you're going to take a minus 20 on this one.
Okay. And did we figure out whether I would get any bonus for the infiltration software or whatever the heck I have, the exploit software?
Yeah. So that's going to give you a plus 15. So you just take a minus 5 total.
Okay. And this is interfacing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So you are able to interface with a spine that's inside the med bay. Unfortunately, it looks like this particular unit has been dislodged from its proper position as you see what looks like a close up of some objects on a desk. You can tell that most of the room is dark and is illuminated by a pale purple light.
All right,
on the
well,
desk is just like a mug and like a data slate.
I will pass all of that information on to the gang.
So there's just a desk, a mug, and what?
It's illuminated
Purple
by a
light.
pale purple light. Seems mostly dark.
So I say, Octagon, you said you had at least been in the med bay. You know what could be emitting the light? The purple light?
Yes, they have purple lights in there.
That do it.
That would explain that
Makes a lot of
mystery.
sense.
Good job. Pack it up, guys. Let's go home.
We can never go home.
Not after this.
Dora, you also you note that the spine that you're on lists the members of the crew who are currently in the med bay.
Okay, and who are they?
Oh,
Octagon.
yeah, exactly.
Your
Octagon,
name is on
Octagon.
there.
like 3 times.
Zamina Al-Mariq, Dawood Al-Ghazi, and Hakim Mosa.
Alright, well.
All right.
Wow.
There's
I
our
was wrong.
doctor.
The doctor is in there.
Well,
Let's get on in there.
All right, how
I
do I
believe
crash
there's
through the
something
ceiling?
alive in there, but I don't know if it's sentient or not.
But we need Zamina Al-Mariq, right? That was the goal.
Yeah, no,
Or
I
static
don't
or
think
something.
there's not too many ways about it. We gotta get in. We gotta see what this fleshy
Fleshy
party is
party.
about, because if nothing else, we need.
All right. How about we meet? How about we meet you guys there and go in force?
Sure.
But
Okay.
okay, sure.
All right, so you guys meet outside the room, the doorway to the med bay. Who is armed with what? Before we begin here.
I have a heavy pistol railgun and my
Okay.
wasp knife.
What's an
I
agonizer?
repaired my shredder.
So an agonizer is a microwave emitter.
Oh God.
We're not trying to make it
So
sound
it,
like it's
Churn out hot pockets? Is what you're
Jesus
saying?
Christ.
I made some-
Yeah. I'm
No,
I'm
so
still hungry.
you would point
This
at
whole
something
thing is
and it
sponsored
would
by
basically
Tostitos pizza rolls.
yeah, it would basically
Tostitos.
heat up whatever it's pointed at, right? So it's like it's extremely painful on skin. That's why it's called an agonizer.
So you're saying we could have crab cakes?
Hey.
Yeah.
Wow.
Just the
could.
little ones that you're coughing up, that's
He's
all.
dying anyways.
Oh,
it's a shame to let him go to waste.
No, wait. Why am I not a ship yet?
Okay,
I don't know. I keep trying to make you a ship.
I really want to make the Firefly reference, and you just won't. You won't do it.
That's a good thing. All right.
all right.
Yeah, and I'm carrying a submachine gun.
Okay,
and
cool.
I take a little like chew off of my stick of mystery meal.
Okay,
What?
very good, very good.
All right.
All right, so
I
you guys
also
are going in.
eat my mystery meal. So fuck you.
I say, I guess I like
prize?
level my gun at the door, and I motion for Uma to open the.
Yeah,
Okay.
Uma, you wanted to go in there so badly. First to the party.
Absolutely.
Fleshy.
I'm gonna yank the door open and let Kim go in first, and then go
No,
after
I'm
him.
right behind you, Uma.
All right,
I
fine.
pushed them both in.
Throw the door open and jump into the room.
All right,
You know, you
So
can
you-
just like actually walk in. You don't have to.
No. It's gotta be actiony.
Surprise!
Yeah, if you don't jump in and cry out like "ha ha," it doesn't count.
all right. So the door slides open, and you can see the door beyond is, or the door beyond is dark. Inside, you can see a large tank that is illuminated. It's purple. It's glowing. It looks like it's filled with just like sort of like seaweed everywhere, and it's purple.
How many purple lights are there?
So the whole tank is sort of glowing.
No, but I mean like the lights in the med bay. Are they purple?
Octagon lied to us.
Is Octagon a motherfucking liar?
Traitor.
Kill him.
So
Summary execution.
The entire room seems completely motionless. Except
for
this
Uma.
tank is there's some motion. You can see that the seaweed is sort of flowing back and forth, sort of slowly.
But I imagine that's obscuring whatever else might be inside this tank.
Bastion,
the
get in your
purple
home.
Oh, you guys found my house. Thank God.
Scuttle on in.
There's no other like bodies around. There's supposed to be 3 people. In here,
Well, the
right?
rest of the room is dark.
Can
Can
we
I
turn on
scan
the
the
lights?
room?
Well, how do we turn on the lights?
Hello, Google.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
You jumped in and you forgot to just hit the light switch that's like right next to the door.
Yeah. So there is actually a manual light switch. So you walk in. Shit. This is far away. One second here. Okay.
Far away from here.
Kevin, I want to scan the room when you're done.
Scan it, eh?
Yeah, I guess there's no more graffiti inside.
No. So you step into the, but you turn on the light, and immediately you can see a terrible, terrible sight. Part of the room, there is a what appears to be a medbot. You can only tell that sort of tangentially by the pieces of it sticking out of a huge fleshy mound. There are like pieces of rib cage sticking out, of skin. There is like half a face here, an arm sticking out that sort of withers into a blackened tip, and it seems to be like multiple body pieces melded together seamlessly. There seems to be no seams. There's just a mound of flesh. Not all of it is skin. Some of it seems to be something more internal, esophagus perhaps, or more interior flesh. None of it's just like like bleeding wound. Although there seem to be like pustules and other places that are not quite healthy.
Healthy.
Yes. So.
Piccolo kind of like gags a little bit.
Dora's hungry.
Oh my god. I think
What?
Bastion.
Is there anything in that that's
Probably.
moving, Kevin?
What's that?
Is anything moving in that fleshy party?
So you, as you look at this pile, you can see like the medbot like try to like move and then like be restricted by the flesh that is sort of enveloping it, and then like give up. And you can hear like the medbot's voice coming like from deep within this flesh pile, like systems malfunction. Please correct.
Nah, you're okay.
Octagon shouts like, "Doctor, quick! Although it's extremely vile, I think you're going to have to search for a stack in that pile."
What?
No, it's not a
I
human.
like the rhyme, by the way.
It's just a bot.
We don't need a doctor to search for a stack in the pile.
We need a doctor to deal with
No,
that.
we don't.
Doesn't touch it.
Anyone?
So-
I'm not a
Send the
doctor. I
crab in.
changed my mind.
It's just a fucking crab.
It
Kevin,
reminds me of another campaign.
Like
The
every
rest of the
campaign.
room
Sorry?
Is the rest of the room still dark?
No. That's it. The lights.
No,
are on.
that's. I mean, what are you looking around the rest of the room? Can you take your eyes off of that thing?
Can I scan it to
Is it
see
on the
what
mesh?
it is, Kevin?
Is it on the? Is the flesh the? Okay. Yes. The fleshy.
Okay.
The fleshy blob is on the mesh.
Whoa!
Can I interface with it or interact with it or something?
Sure. Yeah, you can try to interface with it.
Now,
Alright.
what does that mean in terms of like? I know what it means to be on the mesh, but I mean, what kinds of
It's
things
giving off.
can
It's
be
giving
on
off
the
wireless.
mesh?
It's giving off wireless signals.
You can connect
And that
to it
could, I mean,
wirelessly.
but that could easily just be from like the medbot itself, right?
like
that's
Fleshy
No.
underscore
The
Wi-Fi.
medbot is also on the mesh.
okay.
Okay. Let's. But the like.
So there's like a mesh person on there labeled like fleshy pile.
Yeah. It's signatures flesh party, or fleshy
Awesome.
Party.
Fleshy party.
All right. Yeah. Let's try to. Let's try to connect
you?
to the party.
Okay. Sure. Yeah. So give me an interfacing check here.
All right.
Hope you got some firewalls up, bruh.
Always.
We're
Yeah, we're good.
Okay. Yeah. So immediately your mesh is flooded with some kind of attack, and your firewall does not sustain it. You're not sure what the damage is, but you disconnect as quickly as you can.
Okay. Fleshy party's bad,
Yeah,
guys.
you figured that
Yeah,
out
yeah.
just now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little slow.
Yeah. You're not sure what the damage is, but you're definitely some of your system resources are taken up by processes that you can identify.
Can I try to like fight them off?
Fleshy.exe.
Sure. Roll infosec.
All right.
I mean, I'm pretty happy with the like Death Frost Doom ending where we just unleash this thing on the world and move on with our lives. I mean,
Oh,
it's just
wanna-
hard.
What can I do?
Okay, Dora, you do what you can, but you're not sure if you have forced this infection further into your subsystems or eradicated it.
So now
Can I-
let's.
can I- try to
on
help? Can I try
Yeah.
to help him?
So again, you would have to directly interface with his mesh.
That's fine.
Well, that would
Dora.
require his.
Dora, may I interface with your mesh?
Yeah, sure. If you think you can give me a quick checkup.
They're both gonna get
Yeah.
infected. God damn it.
I jack in. Boop! That's the sound that it makes. That's I don't know why, I just can't. Boop!
All right, so give me an infosec roll there, Bastion.
Boop.
Boop! No good.
Wow. You're gonna die.
I'm like, you're fine, dude. I don't know what the problem is. You seem to be doing
Virus
alright.
scan came
Good.
up clean.
All right,
All
what's that?
right, so let's say that perhaps the doctor we're searching for is now part of this fleshy pile. Is there a way to like scan for a
Yes.
stack other than literally having the crab
Well,
like dig through it?
I could scan.
Why the
Kevin?
crab? Anybody can dig through stuff.
First
Sure.
of
Is
all,
there-
'cause you're the
so
doctor.
wait,
Second of all, 'cause
the-
crabs
the-
love putrid flesh.
Before we start cutting up whatever this is, are there any like log systems or anything like that in the med bay that might attest to what's like happened here?
Sure, yeah, you can make an interfacing check. There's definitely log systems.
It's just
Interfacing?
Open to the Evite that
I hope
says,
it has like a
fleshy
keyboard,
party,
because
I'm
if it doesn't have a keyboard,
Yeah, it has a keyboard. Yeah.
is it still interfacing? Because I don't have interfacing. I have infosec.
This is actually probably trivial. Okay,
Type.
yeah. So you start working on the computer in the mid bay. Quickly, you can find a set of logs that indicate Zamina Almarik was sustained an injury to the head and was placed in the medbot's what's it called?
Balls.
Care.
Like
No.
this
Um,
jar of fluid.
Yes.
It's like a back to tank, whatever they call it, back to tank in this universe.
Yeah.
I can make some
That's exactly right. I can't. Oh, the healing vat. Healing
All right,
vat.
sure.
back there.
That makes perfect sense. And then, like, is there anything else in that log that would indicate how it went from her sustaining a head wound to becoming like a blob of flesh interface or like intermingled with the medbot?
The bot probably did it.
Can I
no,
look?
it's true.
Can I look for hints of like corruption in the medical bot's like software?
Yeah, absolutely. So as soon as you attempt to contact the medical bot, you can see that the medical bot is labeled Dr. Idris, and it seems to be reporting malfunctions. It's been unable to perform its duties, and it fears that an exurgent threat may be spreading through the crew.
Yeah. Well,
It is rather emphatic in its messages that inoculation must be performed.
Yeah, he's doing a good job.
well, it seems like this Idris thing is pretty much infected every system in the ship.
Yep.
Is there any way we can tell?
Do we
Like,
need information from this blob of flesh? Like, do we need to still try to get a stack out of here, or figure out
Well, that's what
Well,
I was
the
asking.
stack is our mission.
what the artifact was or where it was? Because I can try to determine that.
well, yeah,
Stack
we're
of-
hoping that Dr. Almarik's stack is still in there somewhere. Just trying to figure out like what exactly it is before we start. I don't know, operating on it.
We're gonna
So
send
I want
Nick
to try
together.
to do a scan.
Sure.
I just need to look up what it's called.
So by the
just-
way,
scanning.
just in case the picture's not clear here, there's a healing vat, and then the doctor bot is sort of like stationed next to that, but it is separate, and the doctor bot is what is covered in this fleshy mound.
Right.
Is there anything in
Wait,
the
We
healing
need
vat?
to, yeah, there's
So it's covered in
seaweed.
this purple kelp, like
Right.
Can we like
well, Can we tell if there's
can we-
anything else in there?
Can we drain it?
So as you look into the vat, you notice sort of swishing between the kelp is a human pelvic bone.
All right, but that's not that interesting. I'm sure
Can-
nothing
All right.
would happen in there.
I say maybe we should just try to drain the healing vat.
That seems like a bad idea. Where's it gonna drain?
We have to drink it like in Harry Potter.
Yeah, exactly.
That like That
I mean,
filters
there must
You go
be
first.
there must be
People
some
and
kind
virus?
of drainage system. I can't imagine it just like stays full forever.
Do we think that the fleshy party on top of the bot is not in the healing vat?
No,
Right?
it's not. It's separate. Yeah.
Okay,
But
I
there's
want to do a
there's-
deep
there-
scan of the fleshy thing.
Pile.
Does that mean I have to touch it,
Yes.
Kevin?
Yes.
Okay, is there a part that I can touch that's like a
stretched hand.
clump of hair?
No,
or
Robin,
something?
you're gonna get infected. Just get
No,
infected.
you would need to touch its flesh.
It's fleshy party.
You have to join
I
the
would
fleshy
pick
party.
off any gloves you
It's
happen to be
fleshy
wearing,
parts.
too.
You have to make direct skin to skin contact with it to scan.
Yeah, for optimal humor. for
And
us.
this thing is purple or not purple?
If it makes you feel
Uh,
better,
it's-
Uma, like if something happens, we'll kill you. You'll never remember any of this. So
Yeah, that's true. You'd be fine.
It has bruises which are purple, but no, its skin is more or less skin colored.
Nicely done.
Okay, I can try to scan into this blob if it even has a brain and see if there's any information I can extract. Does that seem worth it to you guys, or do you there's nothing left worth
We need
examining?
that stack, and if it's in there, anything.
I mean, any information we can get about what the thing was would be good.
I'm about to like hop into the mush and just kind of like splash around in it like a puddle. Get on everybody, you
All
know.
right. I guess
So
I'm
that-
I guess I'm gonna try. That would be sense, Kevin?
Mm-hmm.
Let me see if I can.
So we all have like backups off site, right?
Well, Piccolo doesn't.
Except for Piccolo.
He doesn't even count. He's not really human.
no, if anybody's human here, it's me.
Ugh. Such a traditionalist.
Not,
Such a
not,
purist.
yeah, not by current definitions. Anybody stupid enough to not have a
No,
backup.
you guys could count as transhumans, I guess.
If anybody's really human, it's
Except for Bastion, who is an
Alright, let's not talk
octopus.
about Bastion. I don't
Right.
fucking-
I'm gonna touch it and I'm gonna try to deep scan it.
So, Uma, as you reach out your hand to touch it, you find yourself unable to make contact. Like, there's just a moment of hesitation before you touch it, and you can't quite go through with it.
I push her into it.
Okay. All right.
Does it work?
No,
I
I
mean-
didn't mean all right. You pushed me.
I
I'm
really
way
meant
too.
that.
I'm way too perceptive to let someone sneak up on me and
She like dodges it
She
away, and you
also
like
me
fall
when
into
I'm-
the fleshy party and become the
One with the
party.
fleshy party.
I'm starting to
No.
get an idea of
I am not
how it
pushed.
came to
I
be
just-
that Octagon couldn't complete his mission. His methods are a little crude, if I might say so myself.
all right. So I'll just draw my hand back and be like, it doesn't want me to touch it. The
Well, of course it doesn't want
can't.
you to, but we need to.
I was gonna say, since
wait,
when do we
wait,
start
wait.
caring about the desires of a fleshy party?
there's something here. It won't.
I think-
it won't let me.
I think we need to determine the contents of the healing vat before we necessarily start cutting into that thing. I certainly
Alright,
don't
is
think
there
anybody
like a
should
drain
touch it.
button? Can
Well,
I, like,
that's what
press the thing and have the
what
shit
I've been
go out
trying to
the
ask
floor?
for like 10 minutes now.
Inside.
Alright, I pressed the button.
Okay, so the drain says system malfunction, drain inoperable.
God,
Does
let's
it
put
say
the crab
It's
in.
locked. You got it.
We
you
do
got a
have to
plunger?
drink it like in Harry Potter.
Just put the crab
All right.
in. It's just
All right.
underwater.
You also have guns, by the way.
Listen, how much is an area that's like off the floor? Is it just the sink?
Oh, there's so there's a desk on the other side. There's also two like you see the beds over there.
Yeah, okay. I say everybody like don't stand on the floor, and we're gonna drain this
Dip in a
tank
bed.
the old-fashioned way.
Oh my god.
I'm on the
Is
top
everyone-
bunk.
Is everyone no longer standing on the floor?
Sure.
Yeah.
All right. I shoot at
no,
the
I
tank.
passed out after that joke.
You can microwave.
Bastion, you start to feel another tickle at the back of your throat.
Fuck!
Um,
Aaron, make me into a
I'm
ship!
doing this in it.
We're
Roll
I'm
gonna
gonna
it
make
into
you
a
into a
ship.
fleshy party if you're not careful.
Dor raises up her firearm to fire, and
No good.
okay.
At the same time,
And a shot rings out, and the tank, the bottom of the tank shatters, and this fluid begins to drain out very quickly. Slides across the floor, catching up, or floating up the sides of the walls. Like it fills them out of the floor in about an inch of this substance. And you can see there's bones and sort of this like weird kelp just filling the bottom of the room. And you can spot several pieces of metal amongst them.
Stacks.
One of which you can identify as a stack. Yep.
All right, I grab it.
Are you gonna get back down into the stuff?
I don't know. I'm wearing boots and heavy armor. Like,
All right, fair enough.
Okay.
I imagine that comes with gloves. So sure, yeah, I'll go down and grab
but
it.
at the same time, who's near Bastion?
Me.
You are vast.
All right, Octagon. Octagon is next to Bastion.
I don't know how
Octagon-
we're situated. I wanted to climb.
I'm
over
in a
one
top
You have been
bus.
randomly-
I'm far away from all of you.
Randomly
You
chosen.
turn to
be near
Bastion, and he's kind of like convulsing, and then something black shoots out of his mouth and sort of like lands on your chest, and you can see that it is a small crab, except it has like pincers in the wrong place. Like there's a pincer like growing out of its back. It's got like what looks to be like a secondary mouth on its backside, along with a set of 4 eyes, and it begins to like uncurl itself and like be alive.
Kill it
Throw it
with
away.
fire!
Can I throw it away?
You're talking about Bastion, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can make I think it's Frey.
Who had a
Frey check.
microwave gun, by the way?
Free
Me.
check.
Is that,
Can I
is
kill
that
it with fire? Throw it
that
into
your
the
last
water. We'll kill the whole thing.
Yeah.
okay? So Octagon, you
will have to
are
live in the water.
I'm gonna shoot it with a microwave gun and make a crab cake out of it.
I
Soon
wouldn't.
as he gets it off
You don't
his
want that
chest.
crab cake.
I really don't think you should.
what's your Frey, Octagon?
50.
Since I was
Okay, yeah. So you take it and you throw it away, and you turn back to Bastion, and you can see his whole body is shaking, and he's raising his like pincers up into the air. All of a sudden, these creatures begin to erupt from his mouth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They begin. Your whole body is covered in this sort of like black ichor. Also, you hear a hatch in the ceiling of the room swing open. What's everybody else doing?
I'm just gonna slowly close
guess
the
I
curtain
was-
on the
Right,
bus.
so how many hatches and stuff? But before you move on, I'm just curious about how many hatches there are. Because what I wanted to do was like get up off the floor near one of the vents that I'd seen had been like blown open when I was on top of the module.
All right. Well, you're in one of the bunks now because that's why I was thinking. You're
I
in a
guess
bunk.
I'm getting the stack off the
He's in a
floor.
bunk. He's near me.
I'm sitting
So
in the
there's
sink.
4 bunks. So I assume 2 of
Okay.
you are sitting on one side, 2 of you are sitting on the other side, and then I guess one of you is I don't know, on the
I'm
sink or
sitting in the
something.
sink.
One of us is exploding
I called that.
crabs everywhere.
Yeah, that's
All right.
that's on Octagon side.
All right. Yeah. So there are 9 crabs in total, Octagon. They are crawling all over your body. You are covered in this like sticky black ichor. Bastion, what are you doing?
I end up just like fucking face planting into the floor.
Okay.
Into the
I like-
goddamn
I-
goop. This is not so wrong.
All
I'm
right,
dead.
Piccolo, what are you doing?
Well, so I guess I get the stack out of the remnants from the vat.
Okay. Yeah, you're picking the stack up off the floor. Dora, what are you doing?
Like I'm kind of looking in amazement at this that's happened, and still holding my gun because I had just shot the fucking tank.
I can't
Okay.
believe you've done this.
Uma, what are
Yeah.
you doing?
Oh fuck! I can't believe you've done this.
I got my what's it called again? Sorry, my microwave gun, my
Agonizer.
agonizer out, and I am aiming it towards Octagon, like towards the little crabs on him, waiting to see
Yeah.
Oh my
if one
God.
breaks free. I'm gonna shoot it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Octagon,
what's
what are you
gonna-
doing?
All right, I'm gonna like hurl
Thrashing.
myself to the floor and start like throwing these
The,
things
the
off.
floor
like,
with
The
the
floor?
with the floor.
Yes, the floor. I'm gonna hurl myself to the floor and try and like crush some of them under me and like throw the other ones off me and
Okay.
and stuff.
Why
Alright,
is
so-
everyone's instincts to get into the like gooey, fleshy, bony party?
It's only
I mean-
like an inch, and I'm covered in black like mutant crabs. What's wrong with you?
I mean, yeah, it's sort of.
Also, presumably,
There
like
was a good
none
day
of
to
us are
stay in bed,
naked.
it'd be that
Like,
day.
Right,
guess
I'm wearing,
maybe
like,
Bastian,
leather,
but-
like armor stuff, and I'm covered in crabs. Like they're gonna protect me.
He's got crabs.
that's why you gotta wear rubber, man.
All right, so
I am.
so Octagon throws himself to the floor. Dora is just like, and Bastion also goes to the floor. Uma pulls out her
And
agonizer
turns it on me.
and points it at the
I'm not
crab-covered man.
firing it.
What happened at the ceiling? What happened?
Right.
At the...
Well, we
So-
don't know yet.
Out of the ceiling drops a figure. He lands with a thud in the water or the liquid on the ground. You can see it's the same man from
Okay,
the
guys, it's just water. It's okay. He said so.
from the video, and he turns towards Dora and extends like he extends his hand. It turns into a pseudopod. Dora, why don't you roll Fray here? Also, Kim, you're gonna roll or Piccolo, you're gonna roll Fray. Octagon, you're gonna roll Fray.
I gotta roll
for
again.
for your particular actions. Yep. Yeah.
Kevin,
So that's what
I
we're
would
doing.
like
fail.
to. I would like to help Dora by attacking this thing and latching myself onto it.
Okay.
From, I don't know how deep the goo on the floor is, but I want to come up like a submarine.
I think you're vastly overestimating the amount of goop.
Yeah.
That's
Like, no, not in my head.
Unless Bastion has been tiny
In my
this
head,
whole
I'm like-
time.
Like I'm like
This
splashing
is
around
the
like
grossest game I've ever been a part of.
It turns
That's
out
such a
Bastion's
lie.
like 6 inches tall.
So, Octagon, you flip over and you manage to crush one of these crabs underneath you. You can see, you can hear the Docbot. It's like whirring and it's like trying to move, and you can see it's beginning to like make tears in this fleshy blob, and you can hear it from underneath the flesh blob in a muted like. Infection detected. Inoculation required. Infection detected. Inoculation required.
I couldn't
And
agree
it,
more.
it's like moving its arms. The flesh is starting to like rip in different places, and blood is like sort of.
Was Piccolo
oozing
able
down
to
this
pick up
fleshy
the
party?
stack as all this started to happen?
Yeah.
So Piccolo,
got that.
you succeeded, right?
No, I failed.
Oh, I was going to give you plus 20, so you're.
Oh,
fine, I think, right?
then I succeed, yes.
Yeah. Okay. So you swoop up, you swing down and swoop up and grab this stack. Dora, this pseudopod reaches out, swings out, and what did you get? What's your fray?
30.
Okay, and it sort of like wraps itself around your neck, and you like grab it, and you can see that like sort of like suckers begin to appear on its surface, and you can find that you're having difficulty pulling your hands off of it as it constricts around your neck. Bastion, you throw yourself towards the creature and knock it to the floor, which pulls both you, it, and Dora off the sink and onto the ground.
All
With
right,
a
I'm gonna take all of my 6 pincers and my robot brain and my cyber brain and attempt to go balls deep into this thing.
Okay. Wait. So you're just like you're trying to tear it open?
Yeah,
Hmm.
I'm gonna try to infect it.
Okay. It's definitely already infected. Like this is an
Yeah.
exurgent.
Yes. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm fine with it.
Because
I'm gonna go
I don't know what you think we're doing here. We're leaving.
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
gonna save Dora. It's gonna be the best.
All right, well,
So
so
am I
you really
confused
have to,
about the target of your actions? You're trying to do this to the thing that fell at the ceiling, right?
Yeah, because
Yeah, that's
if
attacking
it's-
Dora.
Yeah, well, so I mean, as far as Bastion's concerned, this thing, whether it's an exurgent or not, it doesn't have to be the same type of insurgent as him. So,
Okay.
I choose to double the infection.
Okay, fair enough. Go for it. Give me a
Supervirus.
fray.
Success.
Okay, yeah. So you sort of like tear open its leg and like bloody, or it's like instead of blood, like sort of like water starts to drain out, and it turns
bite it.
its human head towards you, and as it like opens its mouth to scream, its face instead turns into like a just this like I don't know, disc of several like fleshy lips. And blasts a sound at you that's like.
I counter it by inking it right back.
You're not an octopus.
No, I retain.
that's
I
not how
retain it as a
crabs
crab.
work.
Oh, you
Oh
you
my
what?
God.
I retain it as a crab.
Is that a thing?
Yeah.
Okay, you had it. So
Why not
special.
all of our
Special.
RPGs end in like
It's my like special attack.
things with like? Goop
It's an
dripping
advantage
off
that I have.
Okay, no, that's great. You have it. Okay. You spray ink into its face.
It's disc, right all up its disc.
It's like
Lip disc?
disc of lips. Yeah. Okay, that's what Bastion does. Piccolo, what are you doing?
It's like Godzilla
All right,
versus monster.
so Piccolo is going to. He's got some drugs for himself. So I guess I have like a dose of MRDR, which is. It sounds like it's just amphetamines.
Murder?
Yeah.
Murder.
Dose of murder.
So I'm going to spend that dose on myself, and then I'm gonna try to get out the door
Okay.
back
All right.
into the hallway.
You're gonna make a free running check. Dora, what are you doing?
I don't know. What can I do?
Well, you have a pseudopod wrapped around your neck. Although it lets go as Bastion sort of like tears into it.
I fail free running.
Okay.
Okay. So like I'm now no longer being sucky
We're
strangled.
terrible.
All right.
Doesn't the- Amphetamines give Kim like a boost or something?
It gives me
I think
+1 speed, and it gives me durability and SOM, which I guess
Can I
is.
try to shoot this exurgent thing in the head?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't really have a head anymore.
It's
Right,
got a
it's a
disc
disc
of
of
lips though.
lips.
Where would an
Yeah,
exurgent
yeah.
keep its vital organs?
Well, this seems to be more like an amoeba than a person.
These are all
so-
great questions, Dora.
God. Yeah, exactly.
Right,
All,
exactly. Yeah.
all of them warrant further research.
Well, we have to go deeper.
that's the problem. So Bastion wanted to be killed and then brought back with a backup. Was that what he had said in the past?
No, Bastion wants to be the ship.
No, listen. I think we're beyond that now, Bastion.
That
Bastion, no,
that
I'm
ship
trying to
has
get your
unfortunately
back.
sailed.
I fought this thing for you.
No, that's why I'm asking. What are your wishes? Do you want me to try to get your stack, or do you want me to like?
No, like
Dora's
Bastion-
leaning over there.
He's
crowd
obviously
looks
infected.
like-
I don't think there's
Yeah.
anything to salvage. Just
I-
kill him and they'll
Bas-
restore him from a backup.
through like the gurgling ink spray goes. Bastion yells,
God.
"Get me out of this morph!"
All right. Can I
Just
try to
put
like,
him out of
grab
his misery,
Bastion's
man.
Stack and go.
I don't think you want that
Uh,
stack. It's
okay.
It's
Wait,
he's
aren't you
pretty
still being
thoroughly
attacked
messed
by the
up,
dude?
obviously.
So here's the thing: you would have to like cut the stack off of Bastion's morph. It's not just like oh hey, give me your stack, and then you like pull it off them.
Look at that thing.
Being,
I'd have to, like-
being destacked is like a pretty terrifying experience. If
He's
you're
already backed up. We don't need to grab a stack. He's
Just
backed up
yeah.
somewhere else.
I think it's better.
Just-
What you probably want to do, I guess, the humanitarian or whatever the octopus version of that is, the octopusane thing to do is to kill him and make sure the stack is destroyed, so that like there isn't some version of him wandering around the TQZ as some kind of bizarre like tentacle monster, and they can just restore him from the backup they took before we left.
Saved your lives.
Do I have anything that I could try to use to destroy this?
It's Eclipse Phase. Death
Fucking
isn't really
amoeba.
like a big deal for most people.
Yeah.
Death is not the hard part. It's fleshy parties and tentacle
Yeah,
men. And,
yeah. I think the
Alright.
worry would be more like that some version of you survives that's infected by like God knows what.
All right. So can I in that case like shoot Bastion in the stack and then like make a break for it?
Right.
So stacks are extremely resilient. It's difficult to destroy a stack with like a gunshot. They're made out of some sort of like diamond composite.
How about
What if-
So wait, Dora, you're
Microwave
free
phase.
of the exurgent?
Wait. What if say a gigantic airship filled with various things were to crash on a stack?
Yeah, they're not indestructible. They are like
Okay.
resistant to just like regular bullets and
I
like.
imagine so you can't like every time you encounter somebody you're like I just shoot them right in the stack. So
Could we
like,
we
boom, done.
agonize it?
The agonizer is not actually a very penetrative weapon.
Yeah. I mean, mine is penetrative, right? Because it's got like AP -10. And it's whatever diamond pellets. That's the whole like.
Oh, that might be able to do it actually.
So either I can take a shot at it, or I can figure like we're gonna crash this thing and then presumably explode it as thoroughly as we can explode it. So
That might have to count.
Okay. All right. Well, you're thinking
And
about
let's
what
just
you're
get out
doing.
of here. What?
Uma, what are you doing?
I would like to head for the door. I do not want to
Yeah.
touch the ground. I am a small child playing hot lava. I'm like maybe actively throwing up, but my gun
there's-
hand is
but there's
steady.
nothing
All
but
right, so
lava.
yeah, that's fine. Give me a climbing check. Octagon, what are you doing?
I'm also gonna make a run for it, by the way.
Well, so I need to clarify. So after 2 successful rolls,
What's
I have managed to
climbing
get
check?
2 of the total 10 crabs that attacked me off of me. Everything's still
Yeah.
just on me. Is that the point?
Yep. That's right. That's right. So one of them has crawled up your pant leg and is beginning to attack your leg. You can feel it biting into you. Another one is attached itself to your side, and
Yeah.
as far as you can tell, is attempting to burrow its way into your abdomen.
Kevin, what's climbing? I don't have that.
Somatics, I believe. Somebody can check that.
I mean, the real answer is just that I'm just going to continue
Schematics.
doing what I was
It is,
doing
yeah.
and rolling around and crushing them and pulling off the ones that are close to my vital organs.
Okay, are you going to say anything to your compatriots or?
I mean, I'm screaming in horror and terror, and they all seem rather busy. But I suppose I'll shout out "Just leave that filthy crab's body to its doom and help me get the fuck out of this room."
That crab saved my life. What have you ever done for me?
Rhyming, it's so good.
The rhyme maybe doesn't endear you
All
to
right,
that.
Kevin, I'd like to take. So I wanna, Kevin, how? So I'm fighting this thing, and
Yeah.
as soon as I get a chance, I want to try to break free.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, I know I'm totally engaged, so I'm not saying, "Oh, just walk away," kind of thing.
Okay, no. So as soon as you tear into it, and it screams, you can see it shoots one hand up into the ceiling duct and begins to flow up that arm as an amoeba would into the ceiling. So it is also disengaging from you.
Okay, yeah, fuck it. I run out the door. I
Okay.
swim out the door in the 8 feet of goo.
Okay, sure.
1 inch.
2 inches, whatever.
Okay, so you all sort of crash out of the door into the hallway, dripping purple liquid onto the ground. Octagon, I guess, is still in the room.
I don't know if everybody just left me. Octagon.
Yeah,
Shelby,
so I mean,
I
Octagon,
never left
it
Help,
seems
help,
that you're
help. I need
overwhelmed
a
by
lot
these
of help.
creatures if you don't get
No,
any.
I would. I'd help. I'd kneel down and try to get him off Octagon if I could.
Look,
damn it,
this
Bastion, you did this to me.
this was the part of the mission that involved saving Octagon was more if you run into him, grab his stack. So
Well, listen, if is Octagon wraithing on the ground?
Yes,
Yeah,
Octagon's
one of
writhing
these
on it,
creatures
rolling
is,
around.
literally burrowing into his abdomen.
Oh my
it's
God, so
it's
I
halfway in.
I reach down and grab one of them and then force it into his mouth.
here's your help,
Octagon.
Octagon. I
I was
hope this is
killing
what
him
you're
again.
hoping.
I'm gonna jam my hand into my pocket and activate my Farcaster.
Okay, well, okay. Oh. I'll give you an opposed fray check if you want before you get into a crab jammed into your mouth.
Jesus Christ, this got fucking weird.
I closed the
What's
door behind
happening
me,
in
by the way.
Faster?
I'll give these two some privacy.
What is an
Close
opposed
the
break?
curtain.
Oh, so you both roll fray, and whoever does better. Whoever fails by less or succeeds by more.
Got it. Okay. And anything helping me here, like the fact that I'm a professional survivalist?
No,
What?
your fray skill.
Just the fray, please.
I've been forced to eat crab before, and
I also have 8 arms, so.
All right, roll your fray.
That's a critical failure.
Oh,
The critical
you
failure.
want me to roll my fry?
Yeah, you roll
Yeah.
as well.
Apparently, that's what we. Have.
Unless you can succeed.
Apparently, all the
fail.
frays I rolled before don't help me at all.
No.
they
No,
helped
they
you get a
did. I
couple
mean, but he.
No good.
rolled-
Well, I mean, so Alex fails by more, but yours is critical.
But you're a critical failure?
Parse that one out.
There's a
Here, I'll flip a coin.
Wait, after all that, you're just living a fucking.
Well, I don't know if a critical failure is worse than a. I mean, you
Failure,
had your
failure?
chance, right? Like,
He doesn't eat the
Alright.
crab, but the other ones will burrow into his abdomen. You know,
I'm just trying to give
I'll
crab
let
a
you- I'll
hand,
let
man.
you,
he gets up just in time
activate
to see the door shut behind him.
before
I
this
couldn't
crab
hear
is shot into your mouth. if you want.
Okay.
That's fine.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it.
Okay.
What the fuck is a Farcaster?
Okay, so you do.
Farcaster-
Okay, so you do it. You activate your Farcaster, and
At
then
some point it's-
you know this crab like slams down onto your face.
Yeah. I
He's
mean,
trying to cast his ego to somewhere.
No,
Yeah.
he's done it. You have casted your ego.
right. So doesn't that mean I'm like gone? Doesn't that mean my
No.
body's just like a shell?
It's
no,
a copy.
You're still here. You casted a copy of yourself.
Oh, I thought the whole point was that you have copies anyway, and that the Farcaster like shoots you out, and your body's just a husk.
That's what normally happens.
But that doesn't happen
Saying
here.
that's not what happens here.
That's not what happens here.
Okay, so I'm not wrong about what a Farcaster normally does. You're just
Mhm.
saying that's not the case.
Can you guys
hope
recap
you
really
go
quick what a
into the-
Farcaster normally does?
Okay, so a Farcaster is a. So in this game, there is a sort of like quantum communication, right? So if instantaneous communication over long distances. Don't need to get into technical explanation. They are limited in their use, and one thing you can use it for is you can have a special stack that has one of these communication devices in it, and at a moment you hit the switch, and it will instantly communicate your current stack to wherever the other side is, right? Essentially,
the
like
other side.
an emergency evac to somewhere else.
Okay.
instantly.
But where is
Right,
it
okay.
going?
Where is that? some offsite facility that.
Whatever
So
you
just-
So what
configured it
happened
to.
here?
Right. Yeah. What
So
happened
he
here?
did not get to leave for some reason.
It copied him.
Well, right.
He didn't.
Right. It made the copy, but so like my most recent copy includes all of these memories up to this moment or whatever. But I'm still here. So I mean, you kind of tell me what you want us to do, because the next thing obviously I would do is like try and pull this crab off my face and like push him away. But we're just gonna get into like.
But
a
let the
grappling
one
match.
on your stomach get into your stomach. That's
Well, right. I mean, I don't. I mean, what do you? What is it you want us to do, GM? Because we
Yeah.
can just keep doing like
We'll
opposed
just-
rate checks.
we're
Oh,
just like
well,
rolling around.
so anyways, unless anybody else who's like right behind me gets to go out, and then so like Dora and maybe Uma, but then I like close the door and we're like leaving, and you guys can, I don't know, fight until we crash the ship into the ground and blow it up. Which might be good for you, Octagon, because then your like corrupted copy here will at least be,
Although the corrupted copy he made somewhere else will still be, corrupted wherever that is.
at least there'll only be one, right?
I guess that's true.
That's worth something. You
What's
don't
the
have
word?
to live with the terrible knowledge that
Kevin.
there's a version of you roaming the TQZ with
Kevin, you gotta
crabs.
say something. Is Kevin dead?
Kevin's
he's typing.
talking to.
Got it. Sorry. A lot of stuff happens.
Anyways, we gotta get to the life rafts.
I
Right.
like failed my something check, and so I make it. I'm assuming I make it out the door, but
Yeah, so you
Not
make
the
it
way
out,
I
but
intended.
this was going to be like who makes it out quicker or slower in case the ex-surgeon decided to come after you. But I think he's ready to leave. So Piccolo, you close the door behind you. Is that
Yeah, I guess whoever's like right behind me, I let out, but like I'm not gonna wait for this Bastion Octagon like thing to resolve itself, so I just close the door.
Okay, yeah.
'Cause-
So you like close the door and you hear screams behind the door as you guys sprint down the hallway.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
we
Yeah.
want to get to, I don't know, is there like a life raft or something like that?
Not that you know of.
No, there is the helicopter, but it's gone.
Well, then we just gotta go set this thing down, I guess.
carefully.
Well, yeah, and then we have to like set it to self-destruct or something.
Yes.
Okay, so how long has all this taken? Are we close to the edge of the TQZ?
Yeah, you've got about 10 minutes left.
Okay, can I try to set us down?
Yeah, you can. The problem is you can't stop your momentum because you're not propelling the ship. The storm is.
That's
Okay,
fine. Just get us to the ground without like actually smashing us into the ground. If we're
Alright,
close
so,
to the edge
Bastion?
of the TQZ, then maybe we
I
can
mean,
at least like get out.
Does this thing not have engines?
It does.
So
But it
could we
did-
not turn the engines on in the opposite direction from the storm to try to slow the momentum?
Yeah, if you wanna sort of connect back into the navigation system.
I mean, I don't see how we have any other option of landing it. We can't create more ballast, so there's no way that we can get it to come down without
No, didn't
directing
we?
it somehow.
one of the systems that we didn't have to connect to was the like
The
buoyancy.
buoyancy, but the buoyancy is controlled by ballast. We can't create more ballast on the ship. That's not the way
Well,
the ballast
it-
I
works.
thought that you said that the
It
ship has like
pulls out of
systems
that.
to draw water out of the atmosphere.
Mhm. It does. It does.
And
Around
there's
the
a
ship
storm
itself,
right
not
now.
inside of the ship.
What's that?
So
Yeah,
it's-
it collects from the atmosphere.
And isn't it like storming outside? Shouldn't it be fairly
Well,
easy to collect from the atmosphere? Or is it
dust
just wind?
storm.
It's a dust storm.
Dust
Oh,
storm
it's a
doesn't
dust
necessarily mean that there's any moisture in the atmosphere.
By the way, Bastion and Octagon, if you guys want to let me know if you're doing anything, you can tell me just.
I mean, I'm complaining that this damn crustration left my mission with a lot of frustration. But
Oh God, above! Oh, I'm so glad he killed
I'm
you.
just gonna kill the
Jesus.
stream, guys.
what about the god above? My rhymes you love? Is that what's
All
going
right, all right. Then, so can I do some like quick calculations to figure out whether if I don't actually plug into the nav computer, if I'm just doing the buoyancy, whether it'll like kill us when we land?
Sorry, say that again. You want to find out if you'll die on impact if you ground
Yeah, you
the
said we
ship?
can't check the momentum, right? Because unless we like actually get into the nav computer to start the engines,
That's right.
right?
That's right. That's right.
So, is there some way for me to tell whether the impact as it is will kill us?
It doesn't. No, it doesn't seem like an instant like the ship will explode if it touches the ground kind of impact. Although like you're not sure that it would be somewhere between like heavily damaged and completely destroyed. But like you don't think it would be like a catastrophic like impact unless the helium nodules at the very top of the ship were ruptured. That could cause an
All right.
explosion possibly.
Kev, if when I get a chance, when I'd like to, I don't know, find any sort of panel robot thing
Mhm.
meshed into the ship, and I want to attempt to like, I don't know, fuse into it.
Okay, yeah. So you can connect into the ship pretty easily. You can tell pretty quickly that the ship's systems are being fought over by two entities. One of them is very familiar to you, and the other one is foreign and fighting very hard and very effectively against takeover.
Okay, I will try to help the takeover. I will
Okay.
fight on the
Okay, sure.
familiar entity side.
Okay.
And this is good. Root, do it.
Wait,
Done.
you're
Did
fighting
they
on the
leave?
familiar one side or the takeover side?
Yeah, he's a friggin' exurgent, all right?
I'm an ex-surgeon, Robin.
Sorry, did
Yeah,
they
but-
leave the stack?
So
No, we
I
got
took a
this
lot
time.
of it.
Yeah,
but I
no,
don't-
I
there's-
grabbed that.
Stack.
But there's two entities. You said one was familiar to Alex, and the other one
Yeah.
was what?
He's
Forward.
trying to beat up Idris Elba, but Idris Elba is strong and will survive
Idris Elba is. All right.
from another world. He's got otherworldly beauty and acting.
Stringer
talent.
bell.
Yeah. Okay. So while our friendly crab is trying to kill us all, can I like
I
try
know
to
you
get
could
the
be
thing?
trusted.
I'm
Can
not
I try
trying
to get the
kill
thing to
anybody.
crash? And also, I have a portable nanofabricator and a shelter dome. Can I try to use like pieces from those to create kind of safety harnesses so for the three of us, so that when it
Sure, yeah.
lands, we don't get killed?
The safety dome, I think, actually could do that pretty well. I think it just like I think it's normally for if you're like caught in vacuum, you could like expand it and it would just cover you and keep you safe for some number of hours. So
But
I mean,
it's-
that would be useful here. I think if you were in a crash.
Okay,
Right.
then let's try to set the buoyancy thing to bring us down and crash us, and then when we start getting to within like I don't know 20 seconds left or something, we'll pop the shelter dome.
Okay, so
Can we all
Vast.
fit in it, or
Sounds-
is it like a one-person thing?
I think
So
we can all fit in
Bastion,
it.
you can tell that you can start the engines if you want. You can't touch the buoyancy controls though. They are under the purview of this other entity.
Wait,
So
what's the
I
answer
don't.
to
Yeah,
Uma's
I don't
question?
mind.
What's that?
What was the answer?
What,
to
what
Uma's
Nick? What was your question?
Well, Uma asked a question about how many people
Oh.
would fit in that shelter thing.
I mean, you can all squeeze in. It's not going to be comfortable, but if you only need to survive the crash, it should be fine.
So
He's not talking
I
about you,
turned on the
Octagon.
engine.
It's too late for you.
But the main thing that I do want to do, Kev, is I want to like open the connecting passageway between like all the rooms, like airlocks and doors and stuff like that.
Okay.
Like I
Pump
just want to
some
kind
air
of.
into the air vents.
No, not necessarily. I want to.
The airlock is controlled by Idris. The
Okay.
doorways you can control.
Okay, I'll just like open, just the door. I'll open the med bay door too and walk out.
Okay.
Just, you know.
I wish to get up and run towards the bridge.
Okay. All right. So Dora, you're jamming away on the computer, or I guess minding to the computer. And Octagon walks up to the door,
Casually strolls
blood
by.
pouring down his side, bits of crab all over him, destroyed crab. Sorry, excuse me. Panting, one arm hanging limp at her side. Octagon, what do you say?
Sorry. Never mind. Octagon walks up and she just says, "Hey Uma, how's it hanging?"
Jesus Christ.
That doesn't rhyme.
That's your cue. She's friggin' exurgent now. Shoot her with the microwave.
Seriously, I tried to give you a cue, and
I got it. Dora got it.
what are you gonna do?
I mean, I'm gonna shoot you.
Solid.
All right,
She's
roll
playing-
a.
That seems
Well,
pretty
yeah,
hard.
It's not, I don't even have a. I think you were saying before that my weapon isn't particularly effective. Can I
Oh, it's
no, it is.
extremely painful. It's so it basically
Effective at doing some things.
superheats the surface of your skin, which is just extraordinarily painful. That's its point. It's kind of like a taser or something like that.
It's agonizing.
Right. It's agonizing.
How far is Octagon from me?
He's within range. Maybe 10, 15 feet.
She.
Sorry. She.
All right, I'll just shoot
Okay.
him. Her.
So I think it's beam weapons.
You got your beam weapons, Uma?
I'm looking.
It's
Uh,
60. Okay.
Oh, it's critical.
out of-
Yeah. So
Nice.
so Octagon, you're filled with blinding pain. In fact, the microwaves sort of excite your infection, and this weird tendrily hand sort of bursts from your chest where the microwaves are focused, and you fall to the ground, just writhing in agony. What are the rest of you guys doing? There's about 30 seconds to impact.
Well, we gotta try to get to the airlock and get out. I guess.
with the
Are we planning on
shield thing.
jumping out of the ship and activating the survival dome? Is that
I think so,
Yeah.
isn't
was
it?
that the plan? I
Is
kind
there-
of thought we were gonna use the survival dome inside of the ship when
Oh,
the
you do
ship
that
hit,
too.
but
Well,
I
how does
don't
it
know.
work? Which is
Well,
the
I
best
stick-
way?
I'm-
I'm fine. I stick real close to Dora, and if I guess Octagon or Bastion is trying to come close, I'll shoot them. Am I real?
okay. What's the survival? Let me look up the survival dome when I.
Oh no, you got 30 seconds here. It's that decision time.
Oh, I don't know what it means.
Oh, okay. So it is it basically is a dome. So it's made for vacuum. If you were caught outside of a ship, it would expand to create a dome that you could stay safe inside until you are rescued for several hours.
Okay, so it's like a kind of a larger version of the emergency bubble.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, all right. So, I mean, I guess my plan, I don't think that it creates a floor for itself. Does it create a floor for itself? If it creates a floor for itself, we can jump out the...
I think it's a bubble. I think it's a...
Yeah, it does. It's a ceiling and a floor.
Okay.
But to safely use it, it must be staked down to the surface it's placed on. So if we jump out of
Oh,
the...
okay. Then it's different than I was talking about. Okay.
But
Yeah,
then,
if we
talking
jump
about
out of the
shelter?
ship,
then it might be
then-
better to do what you're thinking of, just trying to pop it here in the bridge and hopefully
Attach
survive the
it to
crash
a
and then leave.
cable or something, and yeah. Okay. So can I also I don't know, I can shoot Octagon in the head or something before we activate this thing?
I think
Yeah.
so.
All right, that seems like both humane and effective, maybe? Question mark.
Okay. So, you walk over, Octagon. You see Dora walk over with gun in hand, Do you wanna give any last words here?
Yes.
I think you're muted, by the way.
I can't hear anything if you're saying something.
I said, what do you mean by last words? Do you think Dora's going to be able to kill me? Is that what you're implying here?
Well, we got less than 5 minutes, so let's.
Like negative 16 minutes? Yeah. Oh God. There's so many people to thank.
I shoot her right in the head.
Yeah.
Okay.
Beautiful last words.
Sure. Octagon says there's so many people to thank and is shot in the head.
And,
Okay.
by the way,
Another.
wakes up in her normal body, far, far away, happy and carefree on the beach.
In another part of the ship, Bastion is sitting among like the goo and ooze with his friendly insurgent people and exurgent, sorry, and he ends up setting up his like shelter dome like very carefully in like a small part of the ship, and he like presses the button as he like waits for the ship to crash.
Okay. Very nice. Very nice. Okay, so the ship will crash. You guys, we can sort of go quickly here, and I know that some of you might have some motives that you may have not yet acted on. So we will just go very quickly with what you intend to do as your remaining party tries to make its way out of the desert, and we'll kind of leave it on an open question, I think. But you survive the crash, except for Octagon. It's a brutal crash.
Depends on how you mean.
It takes you several hours to climb your way to extract yourself from the wreckage, but eventually you do, and you are close enough to the border of the TQZ that you're going to be able to walk to within mesh range. Why don't we go down the line, and if you guys just want to tell me what your character is planning, we can leave the rest to our imaginations.
All right. So Bastion's plan is to fully incorporate himself and like, or either absorb or defeat Idris, so that I know like there's not much of the ship left, but whatever there is left, just to like kind of propagate the infection through the mesh, through technology.
Okay.
Because I don't know what happened to my other exurgent friend, but I'm sure he's around here somewhere too.
Yeah. So you'd probably be able to, with your help, overcome Idris. Adding the alien, presence to your strain of the exurgent virus, which is very bad.
I kind of thought that we were planning to blow up the ship. Like that was like what Piccolo and I talked about. Was once we crashed it, we were going to deliberately blow it up. Yeah.
Okay.
It didn't work.
No, I think that's probably fair. It's not a very hard ship to blow up since it's got healing.
Full of. Yeah.
We shoot at the hydrogen nodules.
We've heard there's a reason we don't have a lot of those.
Okay, Piccolo. On your journey back to TQZ.
Piccolo, I guess, plays cool. If at all possible, he's gonna try to see if he can get a look at the stack recovered for Dr.
Almaric or whatever.
Almaric.
Yeah, Almaric. If there's anything of interest to the Jovian Republic, he will try to switch out the stack with some dummy and deliver that back to Firewall, and get the real stack of Dr. Almaric back to the Jovian Republic.
Okay.
Dora will scan the stack to make sure that it's not infected with exurgent or anything like that, and will surreptitiously make a copy of it for herself for later, and then hand it on back to Piccolo.
Seems overly complicated.
All right, and Uma?
Uma's gonna try to get out of there in one piece while attempting to subtly touch people and psychically probe their minds to see if they're up to anything nefarious.
Yeah, everybody's up to something nefarious, basically, except for.
So maybe she'll figure that out if she stops rolling so shittily.
Yeah. Maybe somebody, yeah. Maybe a lot of
Now we
things.
know why you're
stop
lost.
so shittily. All right.
So
Well,
was I the only one that actually wanted to do the mission? Come on, guys.
No, I did.
I definitely
I
wanted
just
to
didn't
do
want
the
to,
mission.
like-
I was on board.
I
Yeah,
definitely
I was
wanted
on
to
board.
do the mission.
Just like
Just because we have ulterior motives, don't
Right.
we also have
we
I
regular
have
wanted
no
to
motives?
find the
ulterior
stack.
motives. I
yeah,
just am
Uma-
also
Uma's
psychic.
the only one that doesn't have an ulterior motive,
Ulterior.
basically.
But we all definitely wanted to find the stack. That's the thing.
Wait, what did Octagon want?
Well, Octagon wanted something different, but now when she wakes up and realizes that all of her farcasted copies are infected with the exurgency, she's going to use that to.
That's
use
gonna
that
be a bummer.
He's gonna join Bastion on his crusade.
No, she's going to use it to bring down the entirety of Project Ozma, which she was secretly working for the whole time.
So yeah, Project Ozma is
It's like a rival to Firewall.
rival to Firewall, much more
Refined.
regularly structured, right? Vertical command structure.
Octagon worked for them, and she was supposed to bring the stack back, but now she's got a new plan.
All right.
Listen, Bastion's trying to bring Firewall down from the inside. You're trying to bring yours from the inside. We're doing work.
Yeah, I mean, we can contact each other eventually and be like, "Yo, what up? How'd you do?"
All right. Very good. Well, I had a lot of fun. Thank you guys for playing.
Thank you for running it.
This
Thank you.
was Million Year Echo.
Thank you.
I guess that's it. Thanks everybody for watching. If you've been watching this on YouTube, you should come check us out. We stream every Tuesday night at 7:30 Eastern, and you should be able to find the link to that below. If you're watching this on Twitch or we're streaming, come check out our YouTube channel. You can watch this and our previous games and all kinds of chicanery that happens there within. And so I guess with that, we'll end it. Thanks again, guys, and everybody have a good night.